why the Absa Ultimate account was created, to be the cushion you can count on. With the Absa Ultimate account, you get 3 times your monthly salary, up to 20,000 cedis, even in the event of retrenchment, to help you stay afloat. Move with confidence this 2026. Open an Absa Ultimate account today. Your story matters. Absa. Newspaper review segment is coming up shortly. Sponsored by Zonda Tech Ghana Limited. Ghana is moving. Ghana deserves better. World-class vehicles are now assembled right here with top-quality brands like Sinotruck, Great Wall Motors, Cherry. Zonda Tech is changing the automobile landscape from dependable light-duty trucks by Forland to world-class construction equipment including Shantui and the Sunny Group. Our vehicles are built to international standards to support Ghanaian jobs and drive Ghana's industrial future. Choose quality, choose Zonda. And the segment is also sponsored by Fidelity Bank. We say switch and smile wider. Enjoy amazing benefits by this decision, including lower interest rates, higher loan amounts, personalized financial support, and a smile that truly lasts. Call us on 0800 003 355. It's a toll-free number. You can also visit fidelitybank.com.gh or connect with us on our social media at fidelitybankgh. The show is interactive. What makes it special is we work with what you send us. That's why we're announcing again our WhatsApp number 053 998 6996. The number again is 053. Save it on your phone as Citi FM WhatsApp number 053 998 6996. There's a lot happening. I don't even know where to start. Listening to the news this morning, there's a lot of angst. Traders are unhappy with the new AI system at the port. And then there's also the dissatisfaction of haulage truck companies or haulage truck drivers with shippers and shipping lines. A big announcement is expected this week about the new coach for the senior national team, the Ghana Black Stars. And then we're also waiting with bated breath for the ministers of energy and finance to announce some reliefs for us. So this week there are plenty of things are happening. And then very, very disturbing story. 2 stories from the football yesterday. Asante Kotoko locked to Midiama, and I saw some footages of Kotoko fans not happy with their team. Some of them trying to deflate the tire of the Kotoko bus. Then, but the second one is more serious. Brekum Chelsea player killed in armed robbery attack. So the question I'm asking is, what arrangements do we put in place for the teams in their movement, and can we make them better? Because this is clearly an armed robbery attack that happened.
It's not the first.
Is it?
There have been quite a few of such attacks on Premier League teams. I do think that they in fact do get targeted, because what happens
deliberately.
Yes, because what happens is, if I go and play on Sunday, I need to leave
that night
to get back to my base.
So they know they travel at night.
Yeah, so most of the teams travel at night. So imagine the distance from Brekum to Samaraboy.
But what are they looking for? People have gone to play football to give us happiness. Even if you're a robber, why should you do such a thing? Some people, we need to find a way. I don't know whether we have to now mandatorily put some police armed in the buses.
Perhaps.
Maybe the GFA needs to, because I think this is not right.
Just of a certain distances.
Yeah, I think for this one, we shouldn't take it as just a normal armed robbery attack.
Like I said, it's been coming. Yeah. It's been happening. This is about, in the past 2 years, off the top of my head, this is about the 6th.
So how come we don't even give it that much coverage?
This is about the 6th.
Dominic Frimpong killed. So they were driving from Brekum to Summerboy. Oh?
No, from Summerboy
to Brekum. Oh, because they are from Brekum. So they went to play with Summertex. Well, so many issues happening. And then, of course, in the Middle East, they haven't struck a deal yet. So President Trump says he's going to set up a blockade on the strait. And this blockade thing, if you follow the Cuban issue, blockades never end well. So the war hasn't ended, and now we're
It's not
seeing
happening.
oil prices go up again. So much to do on the show this morning. Waiting
Today
for the
you
big
might-
announcement
you
as
might
well.
get a national team coach today as well.
You know, over the weekend I was at a funeral
You're in Dansoman.
in
Tell-
Dansoman.
Just confess you were my neighbor. You didn't call me,
Yes, because I was mourning,
but they reported you to me.
and we were discussing the coach. We're discussing the coach. But
are
why
they
is there so
telling?
much traffic in Dansoman on Saturdays? Why you
On the
go
Martin de Porres Road, eh?
everywhere, even to Sakama,
Sakama.
Bazaar.
No, as for the
No,
Sakama
Sakama
Road,
there,
is back.
hey.
Oh.
Sakama Road that
It's,
takes
no
you
go
out
area.
towards the Malam Road. Forget.
People should stop that. Saturday, man, they look to do two quick.
No,
No, you
traffic
can't.
on-
On that stretch, you
So you
can't.
should have come through the Akuko photo side and
And then just found your
No,
way.
well,
Yes,
I am not a dancer. I'm from I live at
Sakaman,
Medina.
yeah,
You see why you should have called me? You wanted to go and join the N1.
I had to visit a relative in Sakaman. So on my way to see him, that's when I got lost.
But even if you had called
would have
me,
gone
I would have taken you through the back.
Yeah.
Next time, call me. Don't let people call me that Bernard is in Dansuma.
I don't know. I
Don't do that thing.
also got
you
info
have
that you're in
spice.
Dansuman.
Dansman is mine.
So people were calling you that I'm in Dansuma.
Dansman belongs to me.
But why are they calling you that I'm in Dansuma?
I also got
Yeah.
details that you're in Dansuman.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dansman belongs.
Sometimes
Dansman is
I
mine.
need security.
You need protection. Dansman is mine.
How?
You cannot set foot in
Yeah,
Dansuman
without
without
you knowing.
my permission.
That's right.
Anyway, let's start with the graphic. There's a story about this astronaut.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen some of the portals trying to say there's errors in the story. Graphic has a lead story there. Let's get into it.
Ghana to honor American astronaut Christina Koch after Artemis 2 moon mission. Government ponders Parkinson's on NHIS.
Okay.
Stakeholders advocate stronger policies for disease care. Look, I must say, Franklin Kujo,
Yeah.
amazing strength
Yeah.
and resilience to do what he is doing.
Advocacy.
Look, irrespective of what you think of Franklin Kujo and the work he does on the Imani side,
Yeah.
the willingness to put himself out there as the face of this very debilitating disease,
It's commendable.
watching him lose what normally is himself publicly. Charlie,
You try.
Franklin,
Yeah. So that's in the graphics front
Strength
page.
to you.
Yes.
Ghanaian Times, fuel prices to go down. Government moves to cushion consumers. And Kumasi faces imminent water crisis as Owabi Barikesi dams heavily choked with plastic waste. Kaneshi footbridge closure puts pedestrians at risk. And Godfrey, you help me. Is this a
Atreso Hene.
Atreso Hene stripped of his title for rebelling against Ochiman? That's the story. Stories on the front page of Ghanaian Times.
yes, on the front page of the Daily Guide, the Atreso Hene story is there. U.S. courts okays convicted ex-Maslock boss extradition to jail 55 years for robbery.
Chronicle this morning, government pays $25 million to contractors to accelerate work on the Swame interchange project. Pay cocoa farmers, not party executives. This is the minority. And the Treso story is here as well. Methodist Church descends on Mahama over anti-gay bill comment.
The front page of the Herald newspaper says Maritime Authority breaks silence on Samir Oku's cocaine shop accusation. Medina market traders allege extortion by suspected national security operatives. Energy experts warn against scrapping 12 pesos bust margin.
The Informer, $94 million MIF cash allegations. Can AG prosecute his campaign financier? And commentary, why scrapping OSP would be a profound mistake. No imperial attorney general. Legal scholar warns against centralizing prosecutory power.
The front page of the Inquisitor also goes with the bust margin story. Gexim does not finance mining operations, and the speaker is also on the front page and says the anti-LGBTQ plus bill will be passed.
The Ghanaian publisher Heath Goldfields puts Ghana Trafigura on edge. Dr. Lawrence Tetes, okay, let me hold on to us. Guidec CEO accused of favoritism.
The front page of the Today newspaper has a raft of stories. The big one for me, schooling must meet challenges. This is coming from Ibn Chambers.
Right. The custodian minority demands transparency on one Ghana City Dumso levy. LGBTQ plus clergymen vocal under NPP, mute under NDC. But Catholic and Methodist bishops still voices of conscience.
Front page of the Insight newspaper this morning goes full revolutionary. In Chroma,
Yeah.
why he still matters in contemporary African politics.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Traore, we do not want a democracy that kills.
Right.
And then also a look at the US-Israeli war with Iran. Lands and Mines Watch Ghana validates Heath Goldfields.
The news center, Moody's upgrades Ghana's ratings outlook to positive, and security personnel angry over 20% rent allowance deduction. And we are told government has ditched an unemployed teachers and nurses, rolls out new recruitment policy open to manipulation.
The front page of the new publisher this morning, I am Action Man Backbin. And that's in relation to the anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Also, 5 million Ghana cedis for party, nothing for farmers, minority fume.
The Ghanaian Point, prioritize cocoa sector and restore prices for farmers are not done prior to government. And on the Kasua market redevelopment, a legacy project is what it is and not politically motivated. Agona East MP speaking, and President Mahama commends KGL for fulfilling tax obligations.
Finally, from me, Bernard, the front page of the BNFT, Business and Financial Times, World Bank warns of vulnerability to Middle East shock. PIAC flags risk in $205 million 10 FPSO acquisition. And World Share Expo returns to Tamale for 2026 edition.
Daybreak, suspend Publican AI system over trade disruptions. This is Guta. Rexec, Musec run away from Kajan or demolition. GRA staff petition Mahama to sack Kwesi Sapong, and boss margin must stay as government moves to cut fuel taxes.
Let me give you some stories online. CityNewsroom.com has a lot of stories. Guta directs traders to halt imports and duty payments over Publican AI concerns. Meanwhile, Traders Advocacy Group to also strike today over the Publican AI system. Published district quotas for teacher recruitment, Edwards to GES. Sports Minister says new Black Stars coach will be announced today.
Right.
And then Linda Oklu, the regional minister, says Rexec and Musec were unaware of Kajan or demolition. And then I'm sure you've heard this. U.S. court orders said Natamaklo Ationu's extradition to Ghana. And then fire got several shops at Medina Ritz Junction. Channel 1 News Online, importers and clearing agents begin strike over Publican system. That's the leading story. 7,000 teacher recruitment insufficient to clear backlog, according to TTAG. Meanwhile, Edward says the government should ensure fair teacher distribution to rural areas. And then ex-Savannah Minister Adam Ibrahima dies after short illness. MyJoyOnline.com is leading with petroleum issues. Ghana loses over 600 million cedis in taxes from unaccounted petroleum products. Also, we are told the country could lose nearly 500 million cedis a month for every 1 cedi cut from fuel taxes. So government financials under scrutiny. And then ECG's planned maintenance will affect some areas. We'll give you the list later today. The High Street Journal has a very interesting headline you will not like. It says, if the US-Iran stalemate persists, a tax cut on fuel prices will hurt government and provide little or no relief to the public. I don't know how they got to that conclusion. We'll deal with that later. Meanwhile, solving Accra's urban transport chaos. The Accra Transport Authority. It's an interesting opinion.
Accra Transport Authority.
Yes, that's what they are proposing. Let me take you international. Al Jazeera, US military threatens to blockade all Iranian ports starting on Monday. And then the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, says Trump says US blockade of Iran's ports will start later as weekend peace talks end without deal. And on the financial markets, oil prices surge and stocks fall as Trump's Hormuz blockade raises tensions. This is Bloomberg News. There are so many other stories, but let's get into the details from Ghana. Fuel prices.
Right, so center spread of the Ghanaian Times. Fuel prices to go down. Government moves to cushion consumers. Julius Yaopetechi writes that fuel prices are set to see a reduction this week as the government takes steps to cushion consumers against the rising prices. Prices at the pumps have seen significant increases in the last 2 windows as global crude prices soar in the wake of the US-Israel-Iran war. At a cabinet meeting last Thursday, President John Dramani Mahama directed the Ministers of Finance and Energy and Green Transition to remove some of the taxes and margins on the petroleum price build-up. He explained that the expected reduction would last for an initial period of 4 weeks. Now, if you go to the Daybreak newspaper, there is a quick one here that says boost margin must stay. The decision by the government to reduce fuel prices in the next pricing window brings to the fore the relevance of certain taxes and levies on petroleum products and how they would be maintained. One of such levies is the boost margin, which goes to the Boost Energies Limited Company, Boost Energies, for the development and maintenance of the company's infrastructure infrastructure for strategic storage processes or purposes. More details
Meanwhile,
on page number 3.
The High Street Journal says government is caught between a rock and a hard place. They're basically saying that in a normal market, removing a tax would lead to a direct drop in pump prices. However, with the Strait of Hormuz remaining a flashpoint and global oil prices hovering nearly $103 a barrel, the rising international cost of crude is expected to wipe out any domestic savings. Economists warn that the government could effectively lose vital revenue while the Ghanaian consumer sees little or no reduction at the pumps. It is also possible prices may drop after Thursday but go up again in the subsequent pricing window if the stalemate drives prices up. So basically saying, even though government relief may be welcomed by people, it will not really bring any serious reduction in prices. Analysis they did in their front page.
Speaking of release, can you talk to me about Publican?
Yes, so there are two groups that are not happy. Guta directs all traders to halt imports and duty payments over Publican AI concerns. This story is on Citi Newsroom by William Na. That freight forwarders and clearing agents have been directed to cease payment of duties and lay down their tools from today, Monday, April 13 to Friday, April 19, as part of a nationwide trade action declared by the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Guta. In a statement signed by President Clement Boateng on Sunday, April 12, Guta said the decision follows unsuccessful engagement with government over disruptions linked to the implementation of the Publican AI system in the country's ports. Now, that's not all. Traders Advocacy Group is also to strike today over the Publican AI system. Now, this is a different group from Guta. They've announced plans to embark on a nationwide strike on the same concerns. There's another story that's not on the website, but it was read by Samuel Akom this morning, that haulage companies who drive trucks say shippers are also imposing unfair charges on them. And so they are striking from today. So, or was it from Wednesday? I think it's from either today or Wednesday. So they are saying that there are unfair charges that are affecting importers. So we'll spend some time on the port this morning.
Let me take you to page 5 then of the Herald newspaper, where the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Sapon, has revealed that Ghana lost more than 11 billion Ghana cedis in revenue due to under-declaration and other irregularities at the country's ports. He was responding to a question on Joy FM on how serious revenue leakages had been prior to the introduction of the Publican AI system. And he described the situation as alarming.
We'll be speaking to him later today on television as well to get more, because this is getting to a head and he has a lot of questions to answer.
Let me stay with the Herald newspaper, Bernard, for you on page 4, to a place you know well. Traders at the busy Medina market have raised alarm over the activities of a group of men who claim to be operatives from the National Security Secretariat, accusing them of harassment and extortion. According to several affected traders, the group has been moving from shop to shop under the pretext of conducting inspections on behalf of the Food and Drugs Authority, focusing primarily on checking expiry dates of goods. However, the traders allege that these visits often end in demands for money, with the men reportedly threatening sanctions for alleged infractions. The amounts demanded are said to range from 2,000 Ghana cedis to 5,000 Ghana cedis, depending on the group's assessment of the severity of the violation.
Meanwhile, several shops have been destroyed following a fire outbreak at Medina Race Junction, which affected wooden structures and container-based businesses in the area.
Now Rexec and Musec are running away from the Kajano demolition. The Linda... Okay, so I don't know why you start with the, but Linda Oklo, Greater Accra Regional Minister, has distanced her office and local authorities from the demolition exercise carried out at Kajano fishing community in the Ladadekotopon municipality. Several structures were pulled down in an early morning operation on Saturday, April 11, leaving dozens of residents displaced and distressed. According to residents, the exercise, which began around 6 a.m., involved the use of bulldozers and other heavy-duty equipment. During a visit to the affected area on Sunday, April 11, the minister expressed concern over the development, insisting that the operation was carried out without the knowledge of key authorities. Quote, I contacted those carrying out the exercise and appealed to them to halt the demolition. Rexec was not informed of this operation, neither was the MCE, and even your MP had no prior knowledge of it.
This is really sad.
Let me take you to page 13 of the Daily Graphic, Bernard. Government clears $25 million debt to Swami interchange contract, and the roads minister also gives us a lot of updates in his meetings with the Asante Hene. Government has paid all outstanding debts totaling $25 million owed to the contractor executing the Swami interchange project. The Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwame Governance Agboja, has revealed. As I speak, all debt owed has been paid to the contractor. Mr. Agboja also explained the new design of the Swami interchange. Also on the government's intended Accra-Kumasi Expressway project, Mr. Agboja said it was meant to provide road users with an alternative and faster travel route between the two biggest cities in the country. So
let me give you two transport-related stories quickly, Kale, before you come back in. So the High Street Journal has a story on solving Accra's urban transport chaos. According to the paper, it stems from flawed incentives, not indiscipline. A proposed transport authority would impose order, restructure operations, and transform trotro operators into stable, bankable business. A friend of mine, Kwame So, wrote an article that circulated all over the weekend that says we should monetize idiocy. And we've said this many times, that one of the ways we can raise revenue in the city is to find a way of finding people who do wrong parking and that type of thing. Now, the story I was reading about the port is Ghana Shippers Authority and transport unions are clashing over a 250 cedi fee and axle load policy. A growing rift has emerged between the Ghana Shippers Authority and the Joint Association of Port Transport Unions over the rollout of new regulatory measures tied to a regional axle load control regime. The Ghana Shippers Authority, in collaboration with a German institution, and JAP2, is preparing to implement the Economic Community of West African States Supplementary Act on Axle Load Control. The framework is expected to harmonize axle load management across West Africa, improve regulatory compliance, and enhance efficiency along key transit corridors. And JAP2 has firmly rejected the proposed charges and regulatory framework, insisting that no agreement has been reached between the parties. We'll give you more details of this. We had a voice from Mr. Shamsu Babayaro, who spoke to the press over the weekend.
So Republic Press is saying that ex-Maslok boss is hot as U.S. court gives green light for extradition. It starts from the front page. A United States court has approved the extradition of Sedina Christine Tamaklo, a former chief executive officer of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, Maslok, and a member of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, to Ghana to serve a 10-year prison sentence. The ruling was delivered on April 9, 2026 by Magistrate Judge Daniel J. Albrechts of the U.S. District Court for the District of Nevada. In his decision, the judge determined that sufficient evidence had been presented to justify her extradition under U.S. law. Meanwhile, can the AG prosecute his campaign financier in the $94 million meth cash allegations? That's the story that the Informer is asking. The unfolding developments surrounding Dominic Akorotinga Ayene and businessman Nana Yao Duodu, popularly known as Dr. Sledge, have placed Ghana's justice system under intense public scrutiny, raising profound questions about prosecutorial independence, ethical responsibility, and the limits of political relationships. Details are on page number 3 of the Informer. Grab that for more.
You can also grab a copy of the BNFT and go to page 3, where they have broken down the World Bank's latest Africa economic update and says that there is vulnerability to the Middle East shock and how Ghana is impacted by this. So you can grab a copy of the BNFT. But go to page 53 of the Daily Graphic and you find the story on the American astronaut Christina Koch. And Ghana is set to formally honor astronaut Christina Hammock Koch following her historic journey around the moon as the government moves to recognize her ties to the country and her role in a landmark space mission. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, disclosed in a statement on Facebook that diplomatic steps were underway for President John Dramani Mahama to honor the astronaut at a mutually agreed time. She has been linked to Ghana because she spent some time in the country during her studies.
All right, let's come to a few more stories.
Yes.
Ministry of Health says it is launching free primary health care to tackle no-bed syndrome. The ministry finalizes preparations to roll out the initiative, insisting that the necessary structures and stakeholder consultations for a smooth implementation have been done. Tony Goodman, spokesperson for the ministry, explained that the program is designed to shift healthcare delivery from hospitals to communities, a move he believes will significantly ease pressure on health facilities.
But we might have to go international because there's a lot happening around the world.
Let me take you across the world. The U.S. is talking tough over the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says the U.S. blockade of Iran's port will start later as weekend peace talks end without a deal. Iran says it will not surrender under threat, adding that peace talks in Pakistan failed due to shifting goalposts from the U.S. Now, on the back of that, oil prices are back above $100 per barrel as U.S. say they will blockade Iran ports after peace talks fail. So, global benchmark Brent crude was up by 7.3% to $102.30, while West Texas Intermediate was 8.7% higher at 104.97. The failure of the negotiations at the weekend has raised concern that the global energy crisis would deepen. You know, last week oil prices went below $100 after Washington and Tehran agreed to conditional 2-week ceasefire that included the opening of the key Strait of Hormuz trade waterways. So that's a big one.
There's a rather bizarre election ongoing, about to happen in Benin, Bernard.
Why?
Where President Patrice Talon is stepping down. There's significant voter apathy. Nobody wants to vote in the election, although they have nearly 8 million voters who are eligible. There's a quote here from political analysts: there can't be any real enthusiasm for that. You would need debate, and each side would have to believe in its chances. There's no debate. There's somebody who also says, I won't go and vote.
Why?
This election is not inclusive. You cannot talk about genuine democratic competition when some key political players are bad, said Arnaud Deswasi, a 39-year-old teacher. And also in Nigeria, 400 militants have been sentenced. Well, 400 persons linked to militant activities have been sentenced to various jail
Well,
terms.
talking of elections, Djibouti's president wins a 6th term in office.
Salagala.
And then Uganda's president will be sworn in on May 12th for, I think, his 7th or so term. And then Zimbabwe has released the big 5 bank notes. But some of their citizens say it will not change anything as inflation affects the country
also
highly.
China has boosted ties with Taiwan after opposition leader visit. That's on page 9 of the
But I just to let
graphic.
you know, we have a new Auditor General in the person of Pamela Graham.
She was working with the Big Four, and now she's working for the state. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The City Business News is next with Nashika Caesar.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Monday mornings, City Business News with Nashika Caesar. Good morning, Nah.
Good morning, Ms. Avle. Hello, and welcome to the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN and EcoBank. Coming up, International Monetary Fund flags global growth risk as spring meetings begin today. And Treasury bills undersubscribed by 29% despite rising yields. Also coming up, Ghana Union of Traders Association demands suspension of publican AI system. I'm Nashika Caesar. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. The International Monetary Fund World Bank Spring Meetings 2026 begin today in Washington, D.C. amid growing concerns over the global economic outlook, with the International Monetary Fund warning that the escalating Middle East conflict could slow growth and strain economies worldwide, including Ghana. The fund says disruptions to energy supplies are already feeding into inflation, trade and financial markets, raising fresh risk for both advanced and emerging economies.
The conflict, which intensified in late February, has unsettled global markets, with analysts closely monitoring developments, including ceasefire talks and their potential impact on commodity prices. Speaking ahead of the meetings, Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva said the conflict has heightened uncertainty in the global economy and is weighing on growth prospects.
In fact, had it not been for this shock, the world would have been in such a much better place than we would have been upgrading our growth projections. But now, even in our most hopeful scenario, we would have a downgrade. Why? Because of significant infrastructure damage, supply disruptions, losses of confidence, and other scaring effects. They're already baked in. So the reality is we don't truly know what the future holds for transits through the Strait of Hormuz, or for that matter, for the full recovery of regional air traffic. What we do know is that growth will be slower.
She also urged central banks to remain vigilant, cautioning that they should not hesitate to tighten monetary policy if inflationary pressures re-emerge.
If inflation expectations threaten to break anchor and ignite a costly inflation spiral, then central banks should step in firmly with rate hikes. Fiscal support should remain targeted and temporary. Rate hikes, of course, would further dampen growth. That's how they work, and that is the right price to pay for price stability.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Cassel Atuforsen and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, are expected to join other global fiscal and monetary leaders at the week-long meetings, which run from April 13 to April 19. Key discussions will center on the global economic outlook, regional growth prospects, climate financing, and how to navigate ongoing instability in trade and energy markets.
That was Emmanuel Opong with that report. Now, finance and tax analyst Nelson Kuju-Kwagwiji says the decision by Moody's Ratings to upgrade Ghana's outlook from stable to positive signals improving confidence in the economy and capital markets. He noted that the move aligns with recent assessments by other international rating agencies, which have both maintained Ghana at B- with a stable outlook, reflecting a balance between improving macroeconomic conditions and external risk. In an interview with Citi Business News, Nelson Kwagwiji says the upgrade points to strengthening fiscal and monetary policy reforms, which he says could help reduce government borrowing costs.
This is a welcome news for Ghana's capital market and the economy in general. Don't forget that recently Standard & Poor also rated Ghana's economy with B-, actually with stable outlook, and this was also affirmed by Fitch Rating Solutions, which also rated Ghana's economy with B- with stable outlook. Now, I think this improved ratings clearly shows a balance between improved macroeconomic conditions, fueled largely by gold and cocoa exports, and of course, potential risk emanating from exogenous factors such as commodity price volatilities and also geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
Nelson Kwagwiji is a finance and tax analyst. Moving on, investor demand for treasury bills continued to weaken last week, with the government missing its issuance target by 29.85%. Latest data from the Bank of Ghana shows total bids fell short of the 7.57 billion Ghana cedis target by approximately 2.45 billion Ghana cedis, despite relatively competitive interest rates. Here's more.
In all, 5.1 billion Ghana cedis was accepted across the short-term tenors. The 91-day bill remained the most attractive, drawing 4.4 billion Ghana cedis in bids with near full acceptance. The 182-day bill also recorded full uptake with 521 million Ghana cedis accepted. Of the 348.9 million Ghana cedis tendered for the 364-day bill, only 162.5 million Ghana cedis was accepted. Yields edged up across all tenors, with the 91-day bill rising by 10 basis points to 4.9%. The 182-day increased by 6 basis points to 6.7%, while the 364-day climbed 13 basis points to 9.97%. The undersubscription raises concerns about the government's near-term financing strategy compared to the previous auction, where 2.9 billion Ghana cedis was raised from 3.1 billion Ghana cedis in bids. The latest results reflect a significant increase in borrowing ambition, though not fully met. Looking ahead, the government has set a lower target of 4.8 billion Ghana cedis for the next auction, suggesting a recalibration in response to prevailing market conditions.
Netili Netiajahu filed that report. Moving away from that, freight forwarders and clearing agents have been directed to suspend payment of duties and lay down their tools from today, April 13 to April 17, 2026, as part of a nationwide trade action declared by the Ghana Union of Traders Associations. In a statement, the association said the directive follows unsuccessful engagement with government over disruptions linked to the implementation of the Publican AI system at the country's ports. According to the association, traders continue to face significant operational challenges despite ongoing discussions aimed at resolving the concerns, which says its members are grappling with unpredictable and excessively high duty assessments, prolonged delays in cargo clearance, rising demurrage and rent charges, as well as the lack of an effective and accessible system for resolving valuation disputes. Some other stories now, and the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, is pushing for broad stakeholder consultations on which taxes and margins should be suspended, following a cabinet directive to the Ministers of Finance and Energy to reduce ex-pump fuel prices through temporary relief measures. The Chief Executive Officer of COMAC, Dr. Riverson Opon, says uncertainty over the specific taxes and margins would be affected makes consultations necessary to ensure clarity and industry alignment.
Taking away taxes and levies and margins would require holistic review of the petroleum pricing for Ghana, right? Because today we have so many margins. I mean, people would think about only UPPF, BOST margin, PDM, I mean, name it, many of them. And at the back of the screen today, I cannot say, go and take this off, go and take this off. But we can have the meeting and discuss that what is the essence of it? Can we review it? Because there was no stakeholder engagement when the government brought the extra 1 city. And I keep on saying it. I can just guess what the Minister of Finance will do. Probably take away the 1 city, that's the extra 1 city that they brought for now, for the 4 weeks. And for the margins, I really don't know what margin they're going to take off. Is it the BOST margin? Is it the fuel market margin? Is it UPPF? I mean, out of my head, I don't know what margin the government is going to look at. And to look at reviewing margin, it's not 3 days event. And if they want to do that, they should call for stakeholder engagement immediately. But if it's taxes that they're taking off, I believe that the 1 city is just a 1 word or 1 letter and GRA is done.
Dr. Riverson Opon is Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Meanwhile, energy analyst Benjamin Insia is advocating the suspension of BOST margins in petroleum price build-up, diverging from the position held by the energy think tank Institute for Energy Securities. Now, on the interbank market today, the dollar is trading at 11 cedis 55 pesos. The British pound is going for 14 cedis 82 pesos, and the euro at 12 cedis 91 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great business day.
Kuma has always dreamt of commanding his own military forces.
Attention! Eyes right, stand at ease.
Because that dream is still a vision in progress, he spends his time commanding his money with the EcoBank mobile app.
Operation Supplier Payment. Dispatch 1,000 units of currency from Accra to Benin. Move! Move!
Sometimes he wants a little extra control so that he can buy only what he needs.
Command Center mobile app. Activate virtual card protocol and initiate payments for sneakers and t-shirts. Abort mission for leather coat payment.
Even when the general is fast asleep, his standing order marches out to sort his bills. With the EcoBank mobile app, you can command your money to make safe transactions in Ghana and across 33 African countries. Download the EcoBank mobile app on the Play or App Store today.
By the left, about turn.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. Momo day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Spoil day. Ah, Charlie, you sure say you dey pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, Momo day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah, motion.
Respond Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo Day.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
L to the L to the L to the L. Hey. 13 after 7, Caleb Kuda here. Nashika Caesar brought you the business news breakfast edition. It's brought to you by EcoBank and MTN. We'll get into kickoff shortly. Edwin Kwaukofi is ready to serve you that. EcoBank says if your money is controlling you, now it's time to take charge. The EcoBank mobile app gives you the power to command your money to transact across 33 African countries and anywhere in the world. Command your money to make water, electricity and school fee payments, bank and Momo transfers, create virtual cards to buy only what you need and more. So Money Commander, download the EcoBank mobile app now on the App Store, Play Store, and command your money. Command also means paying attention to details. EcoBank will never call or send an SMS asking for your PIN, your OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details. When in doubt, call the EcoBank call center 0800 003225. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. Are you a business owner looking for a smarter way to keep an eye on your shop, restaurant, office, warehouse, anytime, anywhere? MTN Business Eye is here for you. Keep your business secure anytime, anywhere. With MTN Business Eye, the smart surveillance solution that gives you total visibility and control is powered by Wi-Fi, SIM connectivity, cloud storage, and solar energy, so your security never sleeps even when the lights go out. Enjoy 24/7 monitoring, real-time alerts, two-way audio, and reliable backup, all at affordable rates. Dial star 5060 hash today and keep your business in sight always with MTN Business Eye. MTN everywhere you go. Let's get into kickoff. Polytank is offering us a juicy deal on their Sumo Super. You will get 10% off the premium multiple layer Sumo Super tank from now till the end of the month. So we are celebrating. It's built with advanced multi-layer technology and reinforced for superior durability. So visit any Polytank outlet today and ask for Sumo Super. Save over 1,000 Ghana cedis. Polytank is the original renewal request for Momo payments online. Leshaho Savings and Loans has great news just for you. Fala season is on. From now until the end of the month, our interest rates have been reduced further just for you. So apply for a loan today to sort out all your needs at the best rates on the market. Fala season is on. Just WhatsApp or call now on 02700 40799. Always remember, terms and conditions apply. Leshaho, let's improve life. Ladies and gentlemen, Edwin Kwaukofi has got you on kickoff.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Good morning and welcome to the Monday edition of Kickoff on the City Breakfast Show. Coming up,
trying to escape, one of our players, Dominic Frimpong, was shot in the head and was sent to the BNE government hospital around 12:25. That was when he passed on. So it's true that Brekum Chelsea were attacked, and I can confirm to you that Dominic Frimpong is no more.
Tragedy in the Ghana Premier League as a Brekum Chelsea player Dominic Frimpong has lost his life after a shocking armed robbery attack. After this weekend's game, we'll bring you some more details on that in the English Premier League.
Crudely, Brooks. Touch for Alex Scott, who buries it.
Sharp intake of breath right around the Emirates. Bournemouth in front for a second time.
Some heartbreak for Arsenal fans as their lead at the top of the Premier League is cut to 6 points, with Manchester City having a game in hand, and also the two teams played at the weekend. We'll bring you reactions from this weekend's games in the Premier League and also in golf.
His year again. Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
Back-to-back brilliance at Augusta. Rory McIlroy does it again, making history with another Masters triumph. We'll bring you details on all these stories with just 59 days to go until the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I am Edwin Kwakofi. You're welcome to Kickoff, which is brought to you by Politangana and Lesheho. Let's improve life. Let's start off with some breaking news. And Brecum Chelsea forward Dominic Frimpong has sadly been pronounced dead after sustaining gunshot wounds during an armed robbery attack. He was injured when unknown assailants attacked the team along the Gorso Bibiani Road at Ashresu on Sunday as players and officials returned from their matchday 29 victory over Samatex. Frimpong suffered critical gunshot wounds to the head and was rushed to the Bibiani Government Hospital. We'll bring you an interview with the Public Relations Officer for Brecum Chelsea, Isaac Obeng, later in the bulletin. But let's stay in the Ghana Premier League, where 5 games more to go in the GPL this season, and the title race has completely turned on its head. On the weekend, where the Giants of Accra and Kumasi stumbled, Mediama have stormed back to the top of the Ghana Premier League. But it was heartbreak for BBN Gold Stars, who saw their grip on first place slip away in dramatic fashion at Doma. There's more in this report by City Sports' Julio Eshrifi Amwa.
5 games to go, 1 trophy on the line, and a weekend that shook the Ghana Premier League to its core. If you thought the title race was done, well, think again. Matchday 29 didn't just deliver results, it delivered a full-blown shift in power.
Doing almost everything right, trying to go in with a foul here, but Salam would have to strike off the attack, and it's going to be Bijay Morant again, and Salim Adams make it 4! A brace for the young man, and Asante Kotoko once again conceding a very, very clumsy goal.
We start in Takwa, the TNA Stadium, where Mediama SC sent a brutal message to the rest of the league. 4 goals, no reply. Asante Kotoko weren't just beaten, they were blown away. A statement win that could define the title race. For head coach Ibrahim Tanko, this was more than just 3 points.
Very, very important. I said in the last 6 games, every game is like a finals. You have to approach every game, because if you drop a point and your competitors are following you very hard. We win this one, we will enjoy it today and tomorrow, and then we have our MTN FA Cup semi-final. And then we see the next game is against, I think, Brecum Chelsea, and then we prepare for that.
But for Kotokotin interim boss Prince Owusu, reality has hit hard. The title dream may be over.
And we're trying to put this together. The guys started playing very well. And just a foul here, the referee to take that foul, he disallowed it, and they take a shot for it. And definitely, whoever you are, you're going to go down. Tried it, and it didn't work the way we wanted it. Say it was the right one. We felt the moment, tried to hold their midfielders so that they cannot give those long passes. Yeah, it is the one. I can say that.
From the fire in Takwa to the heartbreak in Accra, Accra has thought they had done enough against Vision FC, but in the 92nd minute, heartbreak. Benjamin Kwarteng with a dagger of a goal. Full time, 1-0. Vision FC's first ever win over the Phobians this season, and what a time to do it. Head coach Masood Didi Dramani says there are too many questions to answer.
I think that everyone will be disappointed because we came to play to try to win the game, and so if you don't get the outcome that we need, you should be disappointed. But there are so many question marks.
While the big boys stumbled, others stepped up. Dreams FC were in ruthless mode, 5 goals past Techiman 11 Wonders, a proper demolition job. And then, the biggest twist, league leaders BBN Gold Stars blinked. A 90th minute penalty from Emmanuel Marco handed Adriana FC a dramatic 2-1 win, and just like that, the title race is wide open again. Let's take you around the ground. Nations FC kept their title hopes alive with a solid 2-0 win over Basake Holy Stars. Nainaso, it finished 2-2 between Karela United and Heart of Lions, the only draw of the weekend. FC Samatex 1996 edged Brekum Chelsea 1-0, while Young Apostles beat Swedru All Blacks by the same scoreline. Every single point, priceless. So here is a picture. Mediama FC are charging, BBN Gold Stars are wobbling, and Nations FC are lacking. 5 games, 15 points, everything still to play for. Will Gold Stars hold their nerve, or will Mediama snatch the crown?
That was a wrap of the weekend games in the Ghana Premier League by Julio Eshrifi Amwa. Let's go back to the tragic story where Brekum Chelsea forward Dominic Frimpong has been pronounced dead after sustaining gunshot wounds during an armed robbery attack. Let's hear from the public relations officer for the club, Isaac Obeng, who says there's a need to look at security arrangements for clubs.
The incident happened on their way from Samraboy to Brekum, just after the BNE, a village called Achilisu, where the team was attacked by armed robbers. So on their way down, trying to escape, one of our players, Dominic Frimpong, was shot in the head and was sent to the BNE government hospital around 12:25. That was when he passed on. So it's true that Brekum Chelsea were attacked, and I can confirm to you that Dominic Frimpong is no more. It's true, because this is not the first time such an incident is happening. I remember Legon Cities had their own share of it. And on their way from the same summer boy to Accra, they had the same incident. So I think it's true there were some security lapses, but henceforth, now the worst has happened. So it's time we sit up.
That was the public relations officer for Brekum Chelsea, Isaac Obeng, confirming the death of forward Dominic Frimpong. Let's head to the national teams, and the Sport and Recreation Minister Kofi Adams says the new Black Stars head coach will be announced today. According to him, only a few final processes remain before the Ghana Football Association confirms the appointment. He made this known in an interview with Frema Edunyame on Channel 1 TV's Upside Down show.
I would say that we are preparing. If I tell you that we are ready today, we don't even have a head coach.
That's
so it means that we are not fully ready yet.
Yeah.
But I see us being ready by the time it's time for us to play our first game.
So we should still be hopeful.
Oh, no, we should be hopeful. This is a World Cup that I believe I see us doing well. We may not have the best of players as we had maybe in some time past, based on they playing together for some time, but we still have what it takes for us to go very, very far. Maybe possibly even win the World Cup.
Right.
Hopefully, if by this weekend we don't announce the coach, latest by Monday we should be able to announce our new coach.
Okay, so we are heading somewhere.
We've come very far. They still have just a few more to talk to, and when they finish talking to those few, maybe by Friday we can take a decision. So you either between Friday and Monday, we should be able to let you know.
Well, Kofi Adams also remains confident about the Ghana's chances at the FIFA World Cup, insisting the Black Stars can't go beyond the group stage and even challenge for the trophy.
To go very, very far. Maybe possibly even win the World Cup.
Oh, but this one day you are being overly ambitious. So, or you say I don't have faith.
Once you qualify, every team that qualifies to be there has
is a potential winner.
It's a potential winner.
Yeah. You don't think that we'll just do group stages and come back?
Oh, no. I don't think that.
Really?
I don't think that we should do. Our group is a tough group. We are the least in terms of ranking in our group.
Yeah.
Even Panama is ranked better than us.
We've fallen. We are now, 74th?
We are 74th when it comes to the ranking. But we still good. We still have the talisman in our team.
Our Sports and Recreation Minister Kofi Adams. Now to our daily World Cup focus, we continue with host nation, or co-host Mexico.
Mexico heads into the 2026 FIFA World Cup as one of the most consistent teams in the tournament's history. L3 will be making their 18th appearance, having featured in 17 of the first 22 editions. Their connection to the World Cup dates back to the very beginning, having played their first ever match in 1930. Since 1994, Mexico has been a constant presence, qualifying for every tournament and building one of the longest active streaks in world football. That consistency has defined the identity on the global stage. Across 60 matches, Mexico has recorded 17 wins, 15 draws, and 28 losses. They have regularly advanced from the group stage, earning a reputation as a difficult opponent. But in recent years, progress has often stopped in the round of 16.
That was a preview of Mexico, one of the co-hosts for the FIFA World Cup, read by Edem Kai. We'll bring you more on Traffic Avenue later in the day. To the Premier League, and Match Week 32 delivered major twists. Man City, they got a 3-0 win over Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal suffered a shock 2-1 defeat to Bournemouth, cutting their lead to 6 points. Now, in other results, Liverpool beat Fulham 2-0, Sunderland edged Tottenham 1-0, and Crystal Palace defeated Newcastle by 2-1. Brentford drew 2-2 with Everton. Brighton beat Burnley 2-0. Nottingham Forest held Aston Villa to a 1-1 draw, while West Ham United thrashed Wolves 4-0. And tonight you'll see Manchester United take on Leeds United. And that's the latest in the world of sports. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff was powered by Polytank Ghana and Lesheho. Let's improve life. I'm Edwin Kwakofi. The City Breakfast Show with Bernard Avler continues.
From now to the end of Ghana month, Polytank is celebrating with you. We are giving you over 1,000 Ghana cedis for free on our premium Sumo Super range of water tanks in celebration of Ghana. Sumo Super is designed to last, giving you peace of mind for your home, project, or business. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit any Polytank outlet today. Ask for Sumo Super and save over 1,000 Ghana cedis. Polytank, the original, always the best. Panono Ankasa. Beware, Polytank does not request for Momo online.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's go, we improve your life.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Hey, mama.
Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's go, we improve your life.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Hey, mama.
Let's go, we improve your life.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
The Money Matters segment is brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Welcome to the Money Matters segment with Petra. You can be earning well and still feel uneasy. That quiet fear of what if something happens. That's financial anxiety. One emergency can shake everything if there's no structure behind your income. Peace comes from preparation, not from pretending everything is fine. Now this year, don't carry money stress alone. Petra's financial advisors can help you build stability that protects you and your family. So walk into any Petra office today. or dial *447 *70 hash. Let's do life together. Petra, achieve more.
The Money Matters segment was brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Big days and the seemingly ordinary creamy cowbell coffee is with you every moment.
This advert is FDA approved.
Okay, I'll see you soon. Why, baby? Hey, my me say enra my boyfriend akwesi obo *959 hash e woni phone so. Na we win.
Anita, I don't doggy park.
Oh, wonso a. Akwesi asanso aba number 1. Yeah, mo adwen na ho. Ene de wo so ye me show papa bi. Na me de tossa me short sexy dress no. Na me se samiti. Na me ye me nails no so come on. Oh, no. Me fa uba. Make I do some small 1-2 rounds be answer me do ni ho. Na we tria. Hey, Nana so he for order. So Chinese any wine papa bi. And they mean this check no.
Hey, Anita.
Na sa ni mia when you TV bi no. Also say sound. No to prepaid. Na me chilly AC mu. I no go fit sweat like that. See fine girl.
Hey, Anita.
Jesus.
Baby I want to know jina wa. Mr. Remember dial *959 hash. Oh, iPhone app akotoma ono. Na wan ka senya usika so ate.
Sister, next time cut call the what? Dial *959 hash and I call 590mobile.com.gh. Not to be 590 mobile. Down some.
Every woman deserves hair that looks and feels amazing. It starts with the right product. BO16. After relaxing, your hair needs serious care. BO16 neutralizing shampoo removes all those relaxer residues and restores your hair's natural balance. Itchy scalp, dandruff wahala, BO16 treatment shampoo will rescue you. Leaves your hair absolutely divine. BO16 detangling conditioner. No more painful tagging and breakage. See how smoothly the comb runs through. Now you know my secret.
BO16. Express yourself.
This advert is FDA approved. The GC brand. It's all about you.
Attention all Ghanaian students in basic to senior high schools. Want to win 15,000 Ghana cedis? Join the Kofi A. Terrier Good Citizenship Challenge now. Form a team of at least 5 students and embark on a community service initiative that will make a real difference. For more details, call 050-591-0960. The final submission deadline is 30th June 2026.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
Marvin, he was a friend of mine, and he could sing a song. His heart in every line. Marvin sang of the joy and pain. He opened up our minds, and I still can hear him say, oh, talk to me so you can see what's going on. like yesterday when we were working out. Jackie, oh, you set the world on fire. You came and
7:39. Today is Monday. It's the 13th day of April, and a couple of people are celebrating their birthdays. So we want to wish them a happy birthday this morning. Bernard and CBS team, please say a special 50th happy birthday to Mr. Ernest Smith of Aska Energy, Ghana. I'm not sure if it's AXA or Aska. May the Almighty continue to shower his many blessings upon his life and grant him grace, mercy, and protection, strength, and long life in good health. From Kofi and Dansoa Saforo to Mr. Ernest Smith of Aska Energy. I'm reading as I see. Happy birthday to Jimaimana Agoa Kwe. God bless your new age from your boss, Kofi Ofosun Cancer, and also from Kofi Chamating. So Jimaima, happy birthday to you, Jimaima Kwe. Happy birthday to Georgina Genesis Achia Amoako. Wishing you all the best, and we love you from your children and your family members. Happy birthday to John Bakpo Ayi of the Ghana Audit Service. You're a chartered accountant, a Greek branch, from your wife and children. Wishing you happiness and long life. Happy birthday to Mrs. Christiana Ntoa Pomeni Yamoa from your husband Evans Yamoa of Shukura CID. So this morning I will be going to the port to do a few things. I just want to say good morning to friends at the PIWC Dansoman. I was at the funeral of a very important church member of the church, and the late wife of my good friend, who's the general manager of Usbed Hotel. And we lost the young lady, Shirley Obing Edu, so known as Shirley Mensa, of Ghana National School. And it was a very, very well organized program. So sending commiserations to members of the Dansoman District Church of Pentecost, the General Secretary of the Church of Pentecost, and all the team members that were there. The former Vice President, Dr. Baumia, was at the funeral. Foreign Minister Ukuchetua Black was at the funeral as well. It was a well-attended funeral. And we're just sending commiserations to Robert Mensah, the General Manager of Usbed Hotel. He's a dedicated and diligent person. And Shirley was such a lovely soul. Such a big loss to the country. I mean, the EcoBank community, the Christian community, the hotel community, the Church of Pentecost community, the national community. It was really tough, so we just pray for Robert and the family, for them to find succor in the Lord. Yeah. So Shirley Obinyedu and your family, you held a really, really honorable funeral for Shirley, and we're really grateful to God for her life. It's been a tough week for those concerned. And this morning I'll be going to the pub. But there's just something that occurred to me. So
talk to me.
Infant Film School celebrated 150 years, or they launched 150 years this weekend, which means that the school was started in 1876. And I also was told, and I'm reliably informed for this to be true, that the Supreme Court of Ghana
150
was also officially started in 1876.
Yeah. In fact, last week there were a lot of articles about that in the newspapers.
Yes, indeed. Channel One News is doing a small documentary for the Supreme Court as part of that. So I was at the Supreme Court on Friday with Fred to do some interviews. What I found interesting was that in that same year, the decision to make Accra the new capital of Ghana was taken. So the Accra became the capital in the year after 1877, but the decision was taken in 1876. Now, this is interesting because three important things: the Supreme Court, secondary education, and then the movement of the capital all happened on the same date.
2 centers of excellence and 1 big disappointment.
In summary.
No. So the reason I'm saying...
Why you say no?
No, that's where I was going.
That's where I went.
Okay.
2 centers of excellence and 1 big disappointment.
No. I'm still saying no because you are affecting my train of thought.
Sorry.
No. Why? No, the reason they took Accra, they brought Accra as the capital, was what I was told was that Cape Coast was undulating and had too many water bodies.
Yes.
And for the type of, and don't forget that the colonialists had an idea of what a capital city should be like, and its proximity to the Tema port as well. Yeah. So Cape Coast was not amenable to that type of thing. Now, one of the things I think about, what would have happened if Cape Coast were the capital? How would Ghana have been? Right, that's question number 2. What can we start today that 150 years later will still be relevant? Because I thought it came to my mind because in 1876 they started infant film school, and when I looked at the way they organized their 150 years, clearly it was a good decision, and clearly they sowed seeds that have lasted. Right, I was talking to somebody who told me that a lot of we're discussing some type of thing. I think it was some business. Since a lot of businesses in some particular sector have collapsed since the founder died. Good. We were talking about some business, I think hotels or something. I don't remember what it was. And the person was saying that apart from 1 or 2, all the companies who were founded in a certain era have collapsed. Okay. So for the fact that Fantasy School is still strong 150 years and it's still excellent, is good. The Supreme Court as well, that is a different kind of history. The idea that now we have understood constitutionality. The Supreme Court is now a place everybody goes to. The lawyer is not happy.
Oh, the lawyer has said nothing.
So this is what I'm just saying to listeners, that look, the truth is that when you are starting something, you may not know how far it will go. So do it well. Okay. The decision to make Accra the capital is not really like, it's just a decision. It's a political decision. It's not as if Accra was founded in 1877. It was a decision to make the capital Accra. That's a different issue. But for me, when I look at the Fantasy School, and because I've read a bit of the history, and there are a lot of people who didn't want the school to succeed. A lot of people wanted to destroy, or they wanted to favor Achimota School over Infantifim School for various reasons. All right, the fact that they persisted and went through all that hassle to create a school that, if for nothing at all, is still one of the best schools in Africa, and has produced some of the most illustrious people, and it's still working. Is a really powerful example. And I'm just saying that whatever you want to do today, whatever you want to start, don't just do it for now. Think about 150 years, because we'll all not be here. But if you do it well, if you start it well, people will carry that vision and still be celebrating. So I want to say this to a lot of our duty bearers, that it's very easy to look at the next election and the next voting. I think that those are very minimal rewards. The real reward for greatness is when you are no longer here. So they write a book about the faithful 8 or so. Is it the faithful 6 or faithful 8? I'm not sure. You know, you went to Holy Child. Is it faithful 8?
I don't think I remember.
I think it's the faithful 8. All right. The whole idea of Infantifim School, a school to train people who were African but also it's very solid ideas. Okay, so that's all I'm trying to say. As for Accra being a disappointment, we can discuss.
I said 2 centers of excellence and 1 big disappointment. You said Accra is a disappointment. How did you know it was Accra I was talking about?
He ended up where you arrived.
No, I could have been talking about Infantifim School.
Oh, Infantifim School is a disappointment.
I said 2 centers of excellence and 1 big disappointment.
So Accra can be a center of excellence.
I'm just asking him, how did he end up at Accra being the disappointment? Because I did not say it.
You said it. They said Ekutian in Mira.
Exactly.
So I know your mind.
Oh.
I know your mind. I know your mind. But the question I want you to reflect on is,
what if Cape Coast?
And also, by what standard are you saying Accra is a disappointment?
You see, congratulations to Film School.
Yeah.
Amazing. In spite of the banter, that goes on between Prempeh College and Fancy. Look, quality is quality. Standards are standards. They set the standards.
Yep.
So we appreciate that, and yesterday what they did was amazing. Again, 150 years of the Supreme Court. Irrespective of what we think of the Supreme Court of this country, if we avert our minds to some of the work the Supreme Court has done in law, there are a lot of things we take for granted that we don't even understand that those things exist, that our lives go a certain way because of certain decisions that the Supreme Court made years ago. There are sometimes we tend to see the more politically and more public decisions that they make, and we think those are the ones that are more important. But there are a lot of really small things that happen at the Supreme Court, although really no small case goes to the Supreme Court. But I'm just saying that tend to impact our democracy, tend to impact our family life, our traditional lives, our cultural lives, that the Supreme Court works on. And I think 150 years, we've seen some growth, irrespective of the criticisms that comes its way.
Yeah.
But Accra, I hope there is no plan to celebrate 150 years. That
will be next year, actually, because Accra officially is 1877.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't they celebrate?
They shouldn't celebrate anything. No.
What should they do?
What are we going to celebrate? The fields?
No, they should reflect.
We should wear black.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Avlovsky, look, what are we celebrating?
The fact that
Accra is a city. Hold on, Accra is a city that has
retrogressed. He's answering your question. The fact that
it's a rhetorical question.
Exactly.
The city has retrogressed.
Really?
We've cut down half the trees in the country. Larger and larger chunks of the city is going underwater. We can't dispose of waste. There's no transport. There's no proper mobility within Accra and its business district. Law and order has collapsed in large parts of the city. There is nothing capital-like about this city we live in. There's nothing prestigious about living in Accra. Let's not lie to ourselves. There's nothing prestigious about it. I think that you are right. Next year, perhaps we should reflect on what could have been. 150 years of what could have been. 150 years of
missed
opportunities. And all the people who've had the chance to run this city, we should line them up.
Take your time.
Oh no.
Take your time.
Aloski, I'm taking my time.
Take your time.
I'm taking my time. Why? What is there to fear? If the city hasn't changed, I have lived in Accra my entire life. I am not old, but I am old enough to have gone through a lot of people who have managed Accra. And so I am very happy to discuss Accra. And if you look at the amount of airtime you spend discussing this city and its failings, it should tell you that next year it should be very, very somber reflection.
But there's
very,
a question
very somber reflection.
The three institutions or the three things we are discussing are all work in progress. So even Fantim has done very well. As we speak today, if you ask the old students about what free SHS and the increase in numbers has done, they are not very happy.
Yeah.
They are thinking of a new model to make the schools excellent, sustainable.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that the school has failed.
No.
Because they will say that they produce some great people. Supreme Court, they've hit some, they've missed some. If you look at the republics, First Republic, if you look at the PDA ruling, it wasn't a really
useful one.
But from Second Republic, Salah and those things, you can say that the Supreme Court has held its own election petition and rest of it. So what I'm saying is that also so in that same flow of argument, can't we say that Accra too has done some? So the fact that it's not what we expect it to fully be does not mean that we cannot say 150 years of look, Accra started with less than 1 million people.
Yes.
Less than probably 500,000 people. Now there are almost 5 million people here.
Yes.
At least we live here every day. We go to work and come back. You know, we have a place to sleep.
We are part of managing this function.
Yeah, but Accra didn't become what it was on its own. We created it.
But
so we are all part of the issue anyway. But so we should reflect on it. So we can say 150 years. What should we change so the next 150 is better?
But not, I think that we
should throw it away and move to a new capital.
Not necessarily. We should take care so that we don't create delusions for ourselves. Because there's a certain reality about Accra I think we should confront, frankly. Okay, as we sit you're talking about our daily movements, etc. As we are here, it's obvious that the balance tilts towards not the positive but the negative, the total dysfunction across all spheres, from sanitation to healthcare, even education. We know where the balance tilts towards, and I think that we should be frank about that and accept that, in as much as we reflect. Because if we take out the reality, the fact of it, I think that our reflections will be a bit full of delusions. So, like you said, and I agree with Godfred, I'll rank the Accra 150-year celebration number 3. I'll follow it with number 2 being the Supreme Court as well. The Supreme Court, started off under colonial authority. We've improved, we've increased our sovereignty, and it has contributed to some key decisions that some will say have helped our democracy. Okay, but you aptly hit the nail on the head when you said there's room for improvement. The obvious success will be Infantipim and generally our secondary schools. Okay, that's not to say that they do not have their challenges, but it's where the balance tilts. Okay, and this is largely because of a certain or an obvious private sector approach. Okay, what is obvious in number 2 and number 3 per my ranking is that it runs, the governance of those run under the public system as against schools that are largely private. And that shows that private sector has the force. Private sector can effect change. And it begs the question, why don't we see same with the public sector? It's the same Ghanaians who are running it. Yeah. What's the mindset that you can feel in the private sector, but you obviously do not feel in the public sector? And lastly for me, you touched on the matter of legacy. Even the private sector has difficulty in making decisions for legacy. Okay, because those businesses, and particularly SMEs, and I'm from an SME, a family business, SMEs suffer because businesses end when the life of the founder is over. But it comes back to, yes, there's capital issue, yes, there are family issues, but it comes back to structures, which then we point the fingers at the public sector.
So you're talking about education.
And also regulation. Because if we structured our SME space very well with the collaboration of regulation or the public sector, many SMEs would not die with their founders.
All right, so this was not meant to be a full discussion. It was just something that crossed my mind. So let me just and I want to separate Accra as a city from Accra as the capital, because some people settled here and they were building their community, and then the British colonial government decided that this would be the capital. You can even say that has worsened life for the inhabitants and the indigenous. It has helped and also hurt. It has helped in a sense that it brought education much closer. So you notice that in our colonial history, a lot of the first legislators and lawyers were all Ghanaian people. And even if you go to the public service now, there are a lot of people born in Accra who work in it because they got the initial benefit, but their lands have been taken, their language has been overridden, their culture is under threat. So maybe we should leave it to them to decide what they want to do, whether they want to celebrate 150 years next year, or whether they want to.
No, but 150 years is a political celebration because the construction or the constitution of Accra was a political.
It was a government decision. Yes,
you understand.
No, I agree with you.
The Ghana people,
so their
or the
celebration
indigenous can celebrate whatever it is.
Because Accra is older than 150.
Yes, it's older.
So than Accra as capital is 150. Yes. But Accra is much older.
Just to wrap up before you sack me, my disappointment with Accra is a capital city is given advantages over every other city, and I've told you several times that a capital city means that what is normal in other places cannot be normal there.
Okay.
What we have supervised over the past 150 years is a city that has rapidly lost its place amongst its peers.
All right. There's an article by Kwame Sow that I will read later on, which sort
about Accra.
It's about urban idiocy and how to solve it.
You see, so
we'll deal with that.
Just as a build-up to our morning of Accra next year, we must.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we must make morning clothes. It's a bit to I'll sell it myself. Morning Accra. Nobody should celebrate Accra. Next year, we must think about the lost advantages,
the lost opportunities.
You see, and Bernard, there are, some people like to say we'd like to talk down Accra because we live here. It's not just the buildings, it's not the high rises that are coming up that makes a city.
A lot of things
make up a city. And I am always blown away by the deliberate move by countries that we had better advantages than. The deliberate attempts to improve
their capital
cities,
make it green and all those things. We haven't done that.
If we go back the past 20 years,
yeah,
I can happily tell you Accra is competing with, I don't even know which one to go.
Lagos. Because Lagos now they even have Abuja.
So that's what I was going to, that's why initially I was going to mention.
Do we need a new capital?
It's a difficult conversation for me.
Do you know what I think we do?
Let me tell you what I need. I think we need. We need a city that comes to understand that it is a capital. We don't understand that we live in the capital. The city itself and the people who run it don't know what a capital city means.
Which is why we need a new one.
No. A new one will not change that mindset. We will take the same MCs.
No, this one is full. It's full.
No.
And it's bursting at the seams. I think we need a new capital. Because when I look at Lagos, Abuja, all right, the idea of a new capital, Lagos is still strong.
Yes.
Lagos
is very different.
Lagos is still the commercial capital of Nigeria, but Abuja created a whole new economy. So I think they should pick a place somewhere in the middle of the country or beyond the north
and build it
from scratch.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think they should.
That's also a plan.
So that some of the pressure on Accra will reduce. Accra still remains the commercial capital because of our proximity to the port and everything else we do, but have a new administrative capital.
But the success of that will depend on the psyche.
The human beings.
Exactly.
So only send only people who pass some exams there. so what they should do is that when they build a new city, if you want to go, if you go and live there, you write the city test. You write an exam.
Your exam is Q pass and poor.
No, I'm serious. I think we need to think about a new capital. I seriously think we need to, and they should launch it next year. 150 years of Accra, where Accra is tired. So they'll call the new capital Accra is tired. They'll call the new capital Accra Abre. Give me two announcements.
So managing your church or ministry requires a banking partner that truly understands your mission. Zenith Bank Ghana introduces the Zenith Church Premium Account, a tailored financial solution for churches and ministries. Enjoy free Sunday cash pickups, loans at concessionary rates, full cash management services, and expert investment advice for your ministry's growth. Let Zenith Bank handle your church's finances while you focus on transforming lives. Sign up for the Zenith Church Premium Account today. Call us 054 2000 111. Visit any of our branches nationwide and sign up. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. You know that moment when the alarm rings and life is already asking questions. Campus, office, hustle, dreams, all waiting to be chased. Those are the moments when you need something that helps you show up and keep going. That's why Cowbell Coffee stays with me every single moment. Whether you're grinding for that exam, pushing deadlines at work, or cooking up the next big idea, Cowbell Coffee gives you that creamy taste and rich coffee aroma to kickstart your day right, and you can enjoy it anytime. Because success doesn't happen overnight, it's the little moments, the early mornings, the late nights, and through it all, Cowbell Coffee Day with you. Cowbell Coffee with you every moment. So imagine a world where power never fails, your data is always secure, and your business never stops. That's the world Left Signature Limited is building every single day. From expert electrical engineering services to cutting-edge renewable energy solutions like solar and microgrids, Left Signature keeps your world powered and protected. Our data center and cloud services ensure maximum uptime, seamless connectivity, and strong disaster recovery, so your business never misses a beat. We also deliver custom applications, ERP systems, and AI-powered solutions designed to boost productivity and drive growth. So download the Power App from the Play Store, App Store, or access the web version. Call us 0256 111 811. Visit leftsignature.com, lefsignature.com. You can also stop by our office at Lashibi North Celebrity Estate. Left Signature Limited, driving progress through technology and engineering excellence.
Techno has released the all-new Camon 50 series featuring a leading AI auto-zoom camera for capturing exciting moments. The AI-powered photo gallery becomes a creative studio with AI art gallery, various styles including global art and local cultural themes. Tools like AI reflection remover and shadow remover all available. For productivity, the series offers the one-tap flash memo function for scanning documents and the improved Ella AI assistant as a live companion. You can visit any Techno store to choose from the Camon 50, Camon 50 Pro, or the Camon 50 Ultra. And do you need a professional tech service company in Ghana to provide reliable repair and support for your smart devices? Reach out to Tech Therapy Limited, where every device is handled with care through proper diagnostic, skilled technicians, and structured processes. Call us on 0505 789 096 or 025 611 1790, or follow us on social media at Tech Therapy GH, or visit our website at techtherapy.africa, or pass by Office 24 Garden Mall, East Legon Road near ANC Mall. Tech and social media trends is next with
Telecel,
and we have Edwin Kwakofi. Edwin, welcome.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Good morning to everyone. I hope you're having a good morning, because we are starting off with some unfortunate news of Brecum Chelsea. The Dominic Frimpong, a forward at Brecum Chelsea, who has unfortunately passed away after he was shot in the head in a robbery attack on the team's bus as they headed back home from their match against Samatex. So a very unfortunate scenes where the bus was shot on. The players rushed out into the bushes. Players and officials rushed out into the bushes to save themselves, but unfortunately Dominic Frimpong, who is on loan from Aduana, previously with Atram de Vizier, he was unfortunately hit and he's passed away.
Oh, Charlie.
So it's the latest in a number of attacks on team buses over the last few years. So let me take you through a few. In 2015, yes, this was not a road attack, but a hotel ambush where Kumasi Asante Kotoko's team was ambushed by people with machetes and knives. In 2019, Division 1 side Asokwa Deportivo was robbed while en route to a match in Prestia. So they made away with money, jerseys, boots, and other things. In 2021, while returning to Obuasi, Ashanti Gold, their team bus was fired upon by armed robbers.
So this is not new.
It's not a new thing. It happens quite often. Legon Cities, very recently,
2023
yes,
November.
Yes, very recently, their bus was also attacked at night on the Bibiani Kumasi Highway. So robbers attacking team buses is a very, very usual thing, and there have been calls for security to be provided for these teams when they are traveling, especially late at night, which they do after match days, just to save costs and all that. So there's a lot of more calls for security after this latest incident, resulting in the death of Dominic Frimpong. So that's a heavy way to start our morning today. Yes. So now let's move to more football news. The Black Stars head coach, the new one, is supposed to be announced today, according to the sports minister Kofi Adams. He said that on Upside Down with Frema Junyame on Channel 1 TV. Over the weekend, we've seen a number of names added to the list. Originally, the list included Paulo Bento, Fernando Santos, and Carlos Queiroz. Now we've seen a couple of names added to the list, and they are Slaven Bilic. Slaven Bilic, who is the former West Ham, former Croatia boss, and also Tom St. Fit, who is
the man who wanted the job,
who has been clamoring for the job since.
Give him the job.
Yes, so a couple more names added to the list. People are waiting with bated breath. We'll bring you the name once it's announced.
Would it be announced today, do you think?
That's what the sports minister said, but I doubt it.
It will come today.
I doubt it will come.
But definitely this week.
Yeah, definitely this week though.
All right.
So we move from that sports story to another sports story trending. Arsenal on the verge of probably the biggest collapse in Premier League
Samens
history.
knew something. That's why he declared seasons of prayer in April. I think he saw. I think like he saw something in the spirit. This one, we need a whole season of prayer for Arsenal.
Specifically for Arsenal, because
I'm telling you,
things aren't going well at all.
It will be the worst collapse in history.
Yes,
if they don't win this league.
Yes, but now it looks very precarious because they lost to Bournemouth at home.
Charlie,
they have Manchester City to play next weekend.
I want do or die.
And then Man City have a game in hand. The two teams could be level on points if City manage to win both.
And the goal difference is very close.
Goal difference is negligible at the moment. So it's a big
seasons of prayer. Hey, Arsenal, what is this?
Okay, so now we move on to that was the only thing.
It's the big story, about the sporting weekend.
Yes. So now we move to the US, where Donald Trump has announced that the US will enforce a blockade on all traffic entering and leaving Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz from later today. So he says that although the ceasefire is holding strong, the talks last night collapsed, and then Tehran vowed to retaliate against any military vessels in the strait as well. So that has put the truce under threat at the moment.
I saw an IG post where they said the 4 Iranian negotiators were all PhD holders, and then they sort of had this caricature of the failures. I mean, I don't know whether that's true. They said, one of the negotiators on the American side is the son-in-law of the president, another one is something, and they're basically saying the Iranians appear to be taking the negotiation more seriously than the Americans, but I don't know.
So one thing that's significant about this for Ghana is that recently we saw the global oil prices go down. Now they've topped $100 a barrel again, so that's very worrying signs for us. But let's stay with Trump, because now he's on another individual battle, with this time with the Pope.
Trump, did he do or is the Pope do what now?
He says they don't like the Pope. He doesn't like the Pope, and the Pope is not doing well because the Pope criticized his comments about Iran and how he wants to attack Iran. The Pope criticized that, and now he's taking on the Pope in his own style.
I know the Pope is the first American Pope.
The first American Pope.
I don't know if ever or in a long time.
No, ever. So Trump's comments, commentators are saying that they've never seen an American president take on the Pope like the way Trump is doing.
And Trump is he shouldn't forget that for the last 2 popes they've chosen, they've all had South American background with and the place he even lived, he has a certain social view of development. So he will not be intimidated by Trump because the kind of worldview he has, some of the things Trump does, he would definitely not agree with Trump. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be an interesting. Let's see if he will respond to Trump.
Well, his office has responded to Trump. They say that Trump is only targeting him on his moral grounds because he can't stand the moral grounds. That's
the Pope should pray for him. Why that smirk on your face?
No, I cannot comment on this.
I'm trying to draw you, but you don't want to be drawn in.
Okay, so let's do some tech news. And South Africa's communications department or ministry, as it were, they've drafted a new AI policy for the country. So this is significant because AI has become a major topic around the world. So they have put in place a draft policy, obviously, that they hope will be passed eventually. That is based on 6 pillars, and I'll go through a few of them. So it includes the fact that educators in their education system will be trained in AI tools, and the integration of multilingual education as well in their learnings and teachings. And also the country plans to establish and sponsor specialized AI research institutions. They'll also install robust controls to safeguard AI systems and information. And a couple of regulatory authorities have been will be established as well. An AI regulatory authority to monitor compliance and conduct audits and issue certificates.
AI regulatory
authority.
In which country?
South Africa. So an AI ethics board to enforce fairness, ethics, and bias control. An AI ombudsperson to handle complaints and disputes, and a national AI commission to coordinate policy and have oversight. So
that's very interesting. Ghana should think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the Tech and Social Media Trend segment with Edwin Kwakofi.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter Angela. Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash, and to the suppliers at my shop.
Hello, sir. Telecel cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly. My dear one, we keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Live on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Sunny Gold Brown Sugar, available in a shop near you.
Sunny Gold.
Wakashi. This advert is FDA approved.
The World Cup is coming, and this time you're not just watching it, you're living it. Match Experience Hospitality is giving you front row access to football's biggest stage in absolute style. Think VIP stadium seating, exclusive lounges, gourmet dining, and priority access. No stress, no hassle, just pure football luxury. This isn't just a ticket. This is the World Cup experience. With over a decade as an official FIFA sales agent, Match Experience Hospitality knows exactly how to turn a match into a lifetime memory. So upgrade your World Cup. Call 055-155-1119. Visit matchexphospitality.com or walk into any Absa Bank branch, our official banking partner today. Match Experience Hospitality. Don't just watch the game, live it. Match Experience Hospitality is doing this with Absa Bank as its official banking partner and Glyco as your official travel insurance partner.
Improve your gum and oral health with the new Nesta mouthwash from Ernest Chemists Limited. Nesta mouthwash comes in original and fresh mint for the treatment of bleeding or irritated gums, mouth ulcers, maintenance of oral hygiene, prevention of bad breath and plaque. Nesta mouthwash, great oral hygiene, long-lasting freshness. Available in pharmacies nationwide. Manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited.
Cast your mind back to 2022. The prices were rising. The stress was high. Every liter of fuel felt like a sacrifice. Do you remember who stepped forward first? When others were comfortable with high prices, Star Oil chose you. We cut our own profits so you could keep your AC on, keep your engines running, and keep your life moving without the heavy burden. We gave you room to breathe when things felt tight. Because of you, our star savers, we became number one. Today, the pumps are a battleground. Others are finally cutting prices because they have to. But Star Oil, we do it because we want to. Don't just chase a price, remember a friendship. We were there for you then, and with new innovations coming your way, we are here for you now. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
8:18 on the City Breakfast Show. What if your bank helped you big up? Welcome to the Republic Verse, where your money, your business, and your dreams level up. Own your dream home with Republic Bank mortgages. Grow faster with SME and corporate banking solutions. Run your daily finances smoothly with retail and commercial banking products. Whether you're starting out, scaling up, or stepping into what's next, Republic Verse gives you the power to do more and shine brighter. Call Republic Bank toll free 0800 414 414. That's 0800 414 414. Republic Bank, we are the one for you. At Locust Estates, we understand and know how it feels to work so hard and still feel unsure about tomorrow. We have beautifully designed 3-bedroom townhouses in safe, secure, community-focused estates with clubhouse, gym, swimming pool, 24-hour security. No stress, no guesswork, no fear. Just smart design in prime locations, built for real families and real futures. Call Locust Estates on 0200 557 704 or visit locusestate.com. Locust Estate, modern living made possible.
Right, so First Atlantic Bank is now a PLC, is listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. It has become a PLC. It strengthens its accountability, deepens its credibility, and positions it to serve families, businesses, and communities even better. First Atlantic Bank is now a PLC, First Atlantic Bank PLC, and is more than a new status. It is a promise to lead with eye care, integrity, customer-centric, agility, resilience, excellence. So come to us. We have integrity. It's always guided us, and our customers always come first. We stay agile in a changing world. First Atlantic Bank PLC, refreshingly different. For all those dreaming of studying abroad who have been duped one way or the other and are almost giving up, come to IDP Education. We have a counseling and application support services. All of that are free. We help you save your finances while you secure genuine opportunities. IDP offers expert free support for study abroad applications to the UK, US, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, and Canada. We help thousands of students achieve their international dreams. We will help you with your IELTS test, and we are your trusted global partner for study abroad services. Visit our office at Osu Akwaje in Edum. We are in Insiase, Kumasi. 020-256-6614 is the number to call, or 054-233-1052. Book your IELTS test today. Speak to your counselors and take the first step toward your future abroad. This June, don't just watch the World Cup, live it. With over a decade as an official FIFA sales agent, Much Experience Hospitality brings you premium access to football's biggest stage with VIP seating, exclusive lounges, gourmet dining, and priority entry. No stress, no hassle, just pure football luxury. It's more than a ticket, it's the World Cup experience. Upgrade now. For enquiries, call 055 155 119. Visit matchxhospitality.com or walk into any Absa Bank branch. The 2026 World Cup experience is brought to you by Match Experience Hospitality, Absa Bank as the official banking partner, and Glyco as official travel insurance partner. Match Experience Hospitality, don't just watch the game, live it. People are winning big on 590 mobile just by dialing star 959 hash. NLA has increased the play time of your favorite 590 mobile from Monday to Saturday. Noon rush starts at 8:30 p.m. and closes at 1:25 p.m. the next day, while the evening draw starts at 1:30 p.m. and closes exactly 7:55. More time to stake more time to win more. Note that as Sunday Aseda remains the same. That's the time. So catch all evening live draws from Monday special to Sunday Aseda on GTV broadcast from 8 p.m. to 8:15. Remember to always take responsibility. It's not for persons below 18. 0308 249 477. Call this number for inquiries. 590 mobile at Dawinsem. Here's some good news for you. If you're a shareholder of Societe Generale Ghana, your dividends are now being paid directly to your bank accounts or mobile money. Dividend payments are no longer being made using dividend warrants. All shareholders are therefore respectfully required to update their records with the registrar, NTHC Limited, with the following information: your bank details, your email address, and your mobile money number, the one you've registered with Momono. That one. So for Societe Generale Ghana shareholders with a Central Securities Depository account, contact your stockbroker and update your records. Societe Generale Ghana is committed to providing you sound financial solutions always. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
8:23, and there's a lot of issues that have been sent to us to table, and I feel like the gatekeeping role is becoming more challenging. Just over the weekend, I received a number of different things. People have complained about sachet water, utilities, electricity and water. Somebody wants us to look carefully at maternal mortality again, particularly in private facilities. So I just want to put those out there for the listeners to know that we have taken journalistic notice of these issues. Not everything you say to us can be dealt with on the breakfast show. Some of them will be followed by the news team, after which we will come back on the breakfast show to deal with. Some of them will do interviews on television, and so just bear with us, because I know there's a lot of different complaints that come on different issues, and sometimes it's difficult to follow through all of them.
And it's important that, Bernard, you make that clarification, because sometimes a lot of our listeners tend to think that, oh, you people don't talk about this.
Yes.
But when you say you people, we are a very large news company.
Yes.
So it might not be discussed
on
here
the breakfast show.
On the breakfast show, but it might be on Prime.
Yeah.
It might be on Point of View. It might be on Eyewitness.
Even these days now, for example, there was a big discussion that Masaudu, he did a documentary on used clothing.
Yes.
There are a number of topics he's going to be doing documentaries on, to also putting, because the idea of the journalism is not just to flag it and point to change. Some of it you need more details, some of it you need more, and for example, some of the time when I bring the topic here for the breakfast show team of air, they will say, look, this type of topic you need to send a reporter to do some background work, to do some interviews. Then when it gets to a certain point, you can bring it here. What tends to happen is that this show, because of its prominence, when you put an issue out, duty bearers are quick to respond. But not every issue is a quick response issue. So for example, if you want to deal with maternal mortality, notice that young women are dying in childbirth more regularly. You need to go to the data, you need to speak to the experts, you need to put a lot of things together, so that even if you bring it here, if a duty bearer listens to it, the light you throw makes it easy for them to solve it, other than simply saying this is happening. You get it? Because sometimes when you just throw an issue out, the politician always throws money at problems or throws attention at problems. So you say there's something happening, they rush there, and that's not always the best. So I just want to explain to listeners that some of the topics you've sent to us are being worked on. All right, and they will manifest in other reports which may not be on the breakfast show. But when it's time for us to bring the issues here, we will bring them here. And if we even do them, and we also do cross-selling. I'll give an example. I interviewed some people on Point of View. I interviewed the governor of the Bank of Ghana 3 weeks ago at the Exim Bank program. Then Fred and the team decided that they will air it on Business Edition on Friday. A lot of people, that was the first time they had the interview. Okay, so that's 2.5 weeks old, but it's come back on air and it's made some help. And there are other things. I know Kakra has something to do on that.
Quickly, my experience with reporting for international media is that they play back their interviews, especially the exclusive ones.
We should play it a lot.
Here we are kind of...
Okay, I have an exclusive. Let me talk to Professor Ransford Jampo, Chief Executive of the Ghana Shippers Authority. 2 issues. The Joint Association of Port Transport Unions say they are unhappy with the Shippers Authority over the rollout of new regulatory measures tied to oversight over the axle load control regime. I would like to speak to Professor Jampo on what he knows about this, because they actually spoke to the media a couple of days ago and said that they will go on strike. I don't think he has time for me to play this. National Chairman of the Joint Association of Port Drivers Union, Shamsu Babayaro, said that they would begin a sit-down strike if authorities fail to intervene in the dispute over registration. Then we've also had the GUTA and the trade associations complain about the new AI system which the customs have deployed at the port. Publican, they say they are striking from today. Both of these things fall within the domain of shipping. So, Professor Jampo, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Bernard. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So it's a busy morning for you. I'm sure you were surprised to hear the chairman of the Joint Port Transport Drivers Union tell the media over the weekend that they will begin a strike over the registration of their members. What do you know about this, and what can you say about their intentions?
Well, I'm very surprised, and at one point in time too, I felt the GSA had been betrayed by one of its key stakeholders that we tend to work for, we tend to protect, and we tend to negotiate in a manner that projects their interest. Section 26(1) of the Ghana Shippers Authority Act at 1122 says, no service provider can render services to shippers unless they are registered with the Ghana Shippers Authority for the purposes of regulating their activities. And so we cannot regulate the commercial activities of shippers as provided for by our Act and shipping service providers without knowing or registering them. So prior to the passage of our Act and after the passage, we held extensive consultations and meetings with all stakeholders about the need for them to be registered. You cannot regulate the activities of people you are working with if you don't know them. So at the moment, shippers, and I'm talking about here importers and exporters, are being registered, but shipping service providers like JAPTU are yet to be registered. Recently, we engaged their membership in Takoradi, Tema, and in Kumasi, and their leadership noted that they had already registered their members and that our attempt to re-register them will be a duplication. We agreed to discuss and resolve their concerns in line with the law. So it was therefore surprising when we saw in the news that they are communicating their intention to embark on a sit-down strike. I'm told they said they wrote to us, but checks at my secretariat show that no letter has been received from them. And yesterday, because of this, I held some telephone discussion with their leadership, and we've agreed that this afternoon at 12 p.m. we'll meet with all of them to look at their concerns and to see how we can address them. There is no cause for alarm. There is no need for them to go on strike on a matter that we ourselves initially agreed that we would sit down to discuss and iron out.
What is the risk of not registering these shipping service operators? What would it do to our shipping or import industry if the shipping services are not registered?
We are supposed to be protecting their interests. We are supposed to be championing their concerns. How do you fight for somebody that you don't know? We can't do that. I mean, that's why in the wisdom of the framers of Act 1122, they said no. To be able to be effective in regulating and controlling the activities and also championing their interests, it is important that you know them officially in the books, so that we know that you have XYZ number of drivers, and this is where they are operating, and these are the concerns that they have, and then you can put in place proactive measures to address those concerns. So it's important. I mean, you don't regulate or protect people that you don't know.
But it's a 2024 Act, and we are in 2026. Why has it taken this long to register them?
The Act was passed towards the end of 2024. In fact, very end of 2024. We got into office in around March 2025. And you have to operationalize the Act. We cannot register all the stakeholders at a go. So like I indicated earlier, we've commenced. We started, as I told you, importers and exporters are being registered. It's a process. and you do it one step at a time. So while some are undergoing the registration process, others are being prepared to go through. So it's not gotten to the turn of even JAP2 yet. We are still sensitized, and you cannot just get up and say we are registering you. You have to organize sensitization programs for them. That's why I indicated earlier that we've held sensitization program for them in Takoradi, in Tema, and in Kumasi. It's a process that we have to go through for them to appreciate the relevance and the need for us to do what we have to do before we can.
I'm told the new law is part of efforts to harmonize axle load management across West Africa. We've heard the president complain about how sometimes the axle load system is abused and some non-Ghanaian registered haulage companies take advantage of the loopholes and overpack their trucks. How urgent is the need to bring regulation to that space?
Well, it is very urgent. At the moment, there has been an ECOWAS supplementary act that serves to control axle load, i.e. the height, the length, and the width of a truck. And this, in my view, also seemed to have incurred the displeasure of some drivers, because the fines for violation are punitive and, if you like, 10 times higher than what our local laws prescribe. But it's a regional act that needs to be domesticated. If you may recall, the Roads and Highways Minister sought to implement this regional act effective February this year. But we, as an authority, intervened and asked that we be allowed, again, to sensitize the haulage truck drivers first. And so it is something that we are also sensitizing them before that also kicks in, so that we would all comply.
The port must be very, very troubled today, because beyond what you are trying to solve with the haulage people, two groups have declared a strike over the Publican AI system, the Traders Advocacy Group and the Ghana Union of Traders Association. They have said their members will not even do clearing today because they are unhappy with the Publican system. You work directly under the Ministry of Transport and you're a key stakeholder within that space. Is this something you are involved in, and do you have an opinion on how it should be resolved?
Thankfully, I have been tasked by my bosses to meet with these union leaders this afternoon too, in addition to the meeting I'm holding with the haulage people. And prior to the meeting, I've held discussions with them over the phone. And so I am hoping that we'll be able to resolve the matters. My minister is out of town, finance minister also out of town, attending other also important meetings, all in the interest of Mother Ghana. And so we are hoping that by the time they come, or by the time they come, we would have encouraged cool heads to prevail, just for the purposes of resolving the matter. So I am hoping that by the close of day today, we'll be able to get them to come out with a certain announcement that would ease the tension and ensure that there are no disruptions at the ports.
Would you be minded to update us on the outcome of that meeting sometime tomorrow?
Please, I will do even this afternoon. I will send you a personal note, and then if you have to talk about it tomorrow, I'll be available to do so.
Thank you, Professor Jampo. We appreciate your time. Professor Ransford Jampo is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority. Two issues of concern: the Joint Association of Port Transport Drivers saying they'll begin a sit-down strike this week if authorities fail to intervene in their disagreement with the Ghana Shippers Authority. And as Prof said, Shippers Authority trying to implement a new law, the Act 1122, which essentially is to re-register all the two groups of people, indeed, the shipping lines who have been duly registered, and then the shipping service providers who include the JAP2. And JAP2 are unhappy with the re-registration because, according to them, they've already been registered, but according to the Prof and according to what we know, the registration has to happen to streamline the activities in line with the new ECOWAS protocol. Then the GUTA is directing all members or traders to halt imports and duty payments over the public and AI. We started the discussion last week. I'll be speaking to the GRA boss later today for more on this, but Mr. Jampo is meeting with the groups later today as well. So there's a lot of action on the port. And this is important because we already know that the whole crisis in the Middle East is not just an oil crisis. It's going to also be a transport and logistics crisis. Yeah. A lot of produce comes from that part of town, or that part of the world. So if we have challenges with our ports, it's going to really worsen issues. So it's very important that these matters are resolved before they become difficult. Let's read some comments on 150 years. So 150 years of Infantipim, 150 years of Accra, and 150 years of Supreme Court. My panelists think that Infantipim has a lot to celebrate. They think that the Supreme Court has something to celebrate, and they feel like Accra as a capital doesn't have much to celebrate. There's a very interesting message from Tony Dogbe, who is one of my listeners that I respect a lot, and he said
Good morning, Tony.
he has an interesting view on this.
Yeah.
Do you have the message?
Yes, he says that, please, the failure of Accra is more a reflection of our politics, the malfunctioning of local governance and our decentralization policy. Good local governance is the base for progressive human development. Tony Asari sent that through.
Is that Tony Asari or Tony?
No, Tony.
I think it's Tony Dogbe. It's not Tony Asari. Tony Dogbe. So he's saying it's a malfunction of local governance and over decentralization policy. Yeah. Which also means that it's not just Accra that's suffering. I mean, think about it. Kumasi mayor announced last week that people should stop dumping refuse at some runabout.
They were too for runabout. I said the people wait, and when it rains, then they go and dump the thing there.
So let's read some more comments. Go for Caleb.
We have a lot of birthday messages.
These are dedications.
So these are dedications.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
So we'll build up to the messages.
Okay. There's a couple more I got here that I wanted to. Bernard and team. My wife and I returned from Eastern and Southern African countries last Friday.
Okay.
Nice.
After visiting Rwanda, Kenya, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, I can tell you we are totally retrogressing, especially our capital city, Accra. No selling on pavement. Trees abound in their cities. Decent traffic rules. Could you believe we drove from Lusaka to Livingston, Victoria Falls for over 8 hours and didn't see one pothole?
Yeah, it's possible.
You know, Rasmubak told me that when he goes to Southern and Eastern Africa, infrastructure is very good.
Yes.
Compared to West and Central Africa.
Yes.
So it's not a new thing. Another one that
no, for me, you see, Bernard, I don't say it's not a good thing, but my biggest concern is how we don't realize that we are getting left behind. You see, again, I take great pride in the progress of Ghana in the League of Nations amongst our contemporaries. Yes, I'm taking great pride in it. Ghana forever. You know, but when it comes to Accra, because that is the conversation we are having, I don't want to expand it. Let's stay on point here. Accra has not realized that other cities across the sub-region, and I won't even go far, within West Africa, have decided to take the very difficult steps that are required to make lives better for the people who reside in their capitals. My biggest peeve point with Accra is how, and it's perhaps linked to Tony's text, how the politics has rendered Accra limp. So nobody can actually do anything that is far-reaching in terms of bringing progress.
So it's the system that's hampering.
Yes, the human beings who run the system.
Is it not a system that limits the human beings? Because we've tried different human beings. You've tried from E.T. Mensah, Natuno Amatefio, you've tried Darkun something, you've tried Ajay Blankson, you've tried Neil Van der Poy, you've tried Ajay Sowa. Now you have Pakpo.
The people who
and you've tried even the woman. What's the name?
But the same
Elizabeth Saki.
Saki.
So is it not the system. Tony's point is about the system.
Yes, but you see
that the decentralization system hampers the people from doing anything.
I get that, but you see, Accra has allowed the people who live here as well. The system has allowed the people who live here to grow into a mindset, a feeling of you can do anything you want.
Yeah,
we will accommodate it.
Anything goes.
Anything goes in Accra, which is the point I keep making, that for a capital city, you cannot run a capital city with the principle of anything goes. Somebody says, okay, the government, the city authorities say we are building a market.
Yeah,
we are trying to move A from B.
Yeah,
even Kasua last week.
Yeah,
they were cursing the city authorities, and some people also playing politics with it.
Which is the point I'm coming to. Abobloshi. Abobloshi. Look at what happened there. Regional minister and his people are able to clear one side. A place that we've been trying to clear for decades. A place that every right-thinking citizen of this town
knows we can't
keep like that. Okay, he clears it. 12 hours after an election, people move en masse back to that same spot, and it's active again. And in order to protect their investment and their acreage over there, everybody ties a political flag around their structure.
That's what they do.
Yeah. So you can't touch it. If you see the flag there, how are you going to touch that flag? You want to touch the umbrella? You see, and
is that not why somebody said it's the fear of losing elections that makes everything bad? So just give people one term.
Yeah, but what we must
so when they finish, they just let everybody go.
The city must understand for Accra to turn into a celebration next year. The realization must hit all of us, those who run the system and those of us who exist within the system, that we must give certain things away.
Let me ask you some questions. Let's assume Papo, who is the leader of AMA now, who has 3 constituencies,
who runs to do,
decides to implement the law. Claire Hawkes,
he's been trying.
Claire Agbobloshi. Do you think we, the people who believe that he is right,
will support him?
Will support him enough against the people in the politics who will say we will lose votes? Some influential people,
yes,
chiefs, pastors and things, who would also say Charlie Papo no fear, and start lobbying against him because people would have complained to them. Because I feel like the reason Accra is the way it is that I don't think when you talk to the mayor one-on-one,
he likes the city the way
because I listen to him when you interview him, he's frustrated about the system, but he doesn't have a lot of power. So I don't want us to discuss the issue and make it seem as if you make me mayor of Accra tomorrow,
you struggle.
I can't do anything.
Yeah.
If you find the most excellent Ghanaian in management, the most experienced Ghanaian city manager,
you'll feel.
And give him Accra under the current arrangement, he can't do it. So I think the focus should be on the system that just is not the limitation of the man.
Yes.
It's a problem with the system. You can bring who is the most wild person? Salifu Amankwasef, the so-called Salifu Amankwa, the one that will be hailing for whatever he did. In the current system we run, he can't do anything. So you cannot change Accra just on the basis of saying we are appointing the wrong people. I think it's more to do with there's a system we've created and a culture that if you don't break up, that's why I say, and you see, I say until the president prioritizes this,
Accra.
So if Mr. Muhammad says, look, my legacy in my last term is to make Accra functional. I don't care whether we lose an election.
In 3 months, you'll fix it.
And I'm going to say that I'm going to give this Accra job to somebody. I'm going to give him a charge. I don't want to see any kiosk at this place. I don't want to see poster on the pavement. I don't want to see any refuse in the gutter. And I'm going to give you a year to change it. If you don't change it, you are out. And he makes it a priority that every major announcement he makes, he says, Accra, I'm coming for you. If he doesn't do that, nothing will change. Because in this country, every leader you interview, good morning, Mr. Excellency, the President. If you haven't asked about whether he's bathed this morning, I want to thank His Excellency, the President, for giving water to bath. Yes, so you are interviewing. So there's no way you can change this. So I'm saying that we've created a country where until the President of the Republic decides that he's going to, because even his party will fight him. If he says, I'm going to clear Accra, people in NDC say, you want us to lose the next election?
If I may, Bernard.
Yes, so my point is that is the system, is not the man.
Yeah, but the system is made up of the people, okay, and it is run by the people. I get the point that we've created a system where we need leadership from the highest, but that in itself is a problem when to address let's take the sanitation problem. To address it at the national level, we need the president to come and make a certain declaration. Yes. That in itself is a failure.
But that's what we have.
Because yes, but the point is that leadership is in levels. Mm-hmm. And we don't see that. So everything has to come from the president.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. And that's why, and you see, even the president making that declaration doesn't necessarily mean that there will be change. There's a very fantastic article on Facebook by K. Kojo. He talks about the custodians of the decay. Brilliant article. He talks about us existing, all Ghanaians, that we exist in two Ghanas. Mm-hmm. Okay? There's one that we all see, run by, there's the media, there's the judiciary, there's the religious part, and then there's a hidden one. They are the brokers and custodians of power. They are also everywhere. They are in the media, they are in business, they are in academia, but they decide who runs what, who is appointed. And they...
Are they faceless?
They are faceless. The kind of power they wield, I dare say that they can even wield power beyond the power of the president, as we will see in maybe Western countries.
Are you sure?
But you see, it comes back to, well, I might only hazard a guess. It comes back to the people appreciating the power that the Constitution bestows on them. Every day I sit here and I say, we need to assert our power as citizens. You see, because if we do not change the system, the system functions in its dysfunction because there are many beneficiaries. There are many beneficiaries in private sector, in public sector. That is why it will be difficult for an MCE or DCE to demolish a place that people are not supposed to be. That in itself is half the problem solved, because what is the alternative to the urbanization sprawl that we see? You can't just go and demolish people because they are in a container in an urbanized space.
There was a demolition that
they will go and they will come back.
The original minister went and said, and again, you see the other thing. We also don't have all the information. Somebody goes there, says he's working for the government, and therefore he is going to remove people from a place. This is Kajano. So he goes, I think on Friday or Saturday, and does the demolition. We are told about 2,000 people are displaced. The regional minister comes and says this was done without recourse to her and the RECSEG, and therefore they don't know anything about it. So they've stopped the demolition. Now, I'm not saying they should demolish, but the system is what has created this type of situation where when 2 or 3 people go and start living somewhere and we even point it out, they don't act and they wait for it to become such a big problem. Mm-hmm. So now the reason I say the president is not to say that's the best system. My interaction with politicians tells me that they derive a lot. I'll come back to it. They derive their power from the presidency.
Appointing authority.
So if, for example,
and
the
presidency or the president, from where does he derive his power?
Yeah,
he's an elected
you don't get me.
official.
I'm not saying that. You see, Kakra, we are talking about direct change. The people's power is to force the elected leaders to do the right thing. All right. So that's the ultimate power. I'm saying that the people who have the responsibility to do the thing, they take their legitimacy from the presidency. Mm-hmm. If the presidency prioritizes functioning urban spaces, it will follow through. His secretary will write an article about this. His chief of staff will ask for responses on it. His governance advisors will check the ministers on those. So what I'm saying is that it is not a Christ what it is, at least under this administration. Nothing much has changed because it's not yet been prioritized as one of the deliverables. So for example, roads have been prioritized. So you can see the roads ministry, their allocation is clear. Yeah. And even the attention he gets, he was with Otunfo over the weekend. Yeah. He's been very forceful because the president is very clear that he wants to build roads. Yeah. Okay. And I'm saying that the kind of system we run, if the presidency doesn't prioritize an issue, all the people he's appointed, they're always looking over their shoulder.
Bernard, can we prioritize a number of issues at the same time?
Yes.
Before you move
we
on,
can.
You can.
Bernard,
you can.
You see, the prioritization of issues in the country should not be limited to the elected official.
They have the mandate.
Wait, but they have the mandate, but it's whose mandate? They are operating on whose mandate? And this is why we created the decentralization system, which is failing. Okay, and that is why our development is limited to the basics.
But Kakra, citizens
because
cannot
we
prioritize.
are at the whim. You see, citizens
We come on air every week
prioritize, but
and decide what
citizens
is.
are supposed to collaborate with the people, with the elected and the appointed officials. We are supposed to collaborate. How many of us even go for the meetings that are held at our district and municipal assemblies? We are also not participating.
Kakra.
And in the absence of what we want,
Kakra,
it is a political party's manifesto
hold on.
that is going to reign.
They are different citizens. The ones on air who listen to us have said they want a functional city.
Yeah.
The people who go and live in squalid conditions, sometimes because of poverty or sometimes because of their own decisions, have other priorities. The politician is the one who's been given the mandate to make a development decision on the basis of the constitution and the NDPC, whatever. Now, if you say
it doesn't happen,
if we were to go to citizens, sometimes the people who shout loudest may not necessarily mean the ones who are right. The reason we have an elected system of leaders is for them to use their experience and knowledge and the constitution and everything to prioritize our development. So what I'm saying is that if you say citizens, Kakra, there are citizens who every morning go and ride motorbikes and do achichi. They are probably more than you, and those people have their own view about what should happen. There are citizens who feel Okada should be legalized. They are more than you. There are citizens who believe that they should be allowed to urinate anywhere. They are more than you. So I'm saying that
citizens can organize. No. I'm not putting the blame on the citizens. I'm saying that it is a give and take. And so long as we are the ones most affected, because the CEOs of state institutions, the ministers, they are insulated from the hardship that we are going through. They are insulated. Their homes are not going to be flooded when it rains.
But there are citizens who are also insulated.
There are citizens
and there are citizens who are also complicit.
There are citizens who are also insulated. But lessons from what is his name? Senegalese scientist Sheikh Anta Diop. Okay, he says that the poor and the weak in the society, if we don't solve their problems, it will come back to us. So we cannot, the citizens who are not affected, I'm talking about the citizens. That's why I'm saying that the person you have elected or who has done some lobbying and has been appointed, it's not, they are insulated. They don't feel the problems that the rest of us feel. And so if we do not take it upon ourselves, it doesn't mean that we are being lazy citizens or whatever. Because mind you, we read the report here that pointed to a certain lack of local citizen participation at even the local governance level.
Yeah.
Okay, and sincerely, whether it is this interest or we do not have the time, our participation is not adequate enough to provide us with the benefits we must get from the system that has been created. And so the system functions for those who are in power, performing their governance, and those who broker the power. And the citizens are also sitting. Some citizens will also benefit, like Godfred alluded to. People will build in unlawful places and put party flags there to protect themselves, because that is what they have seen is being done. Everybody is protecting their space.
Let me bring Caleb. I know you are very much into the built environment. What are your thoughts about 150 years of Accra? Whether we have something to celebrate. Number two, how do you see Accra being salvaged? Should we build a new capital? Should we try and just push some change with what we have? What are your thoughts on all that?
But I think Accra is what it is because of what it offers and the promise of a better life. I mean, a number of things are available in Accra. We have the international airport in Accra, right? Most of the most important things you need to get done in Ghana are in Accra. Until recent past, if you needed to even get a passport, sometimes you had to come all the way to Accra. Yeah. If you are going to the embassies, you find people drive all the way from Tumu, Bolga, Boko, just to come and queue or sleep in the streets and all that to make life easier. Everyone wants to come to Accra so that you can get quicker access. I remember many years ago when I was trying to apply for school, and I mean in terms of high school choices, one of the pieces of advice I got was that even if you attend a less known school in Accra, your chances of getting access to opportunities in Accra is higher than someone who is in a very good school far away from Accra. Because a lot of things that are global coming to Ghana will most likely start from Accra. So there's the mindset a lot of young people have that if life is tough for you wherever in the country, come to Accra. You get something. So that's the idea behind, I came to Accra, I was in a kiosk, we had a little tabletop. By God's grace, we have moved to XYZ. So if you want to make Accra a lot better than it is, number one, you have to spread opportunities. There's a concentration and congestion of opportunities, and that's why in the morning everyone is going to the central business district, and then in the evening we are all going back. So there's that. There are real opportunities in Accra. Even if the quality of your life in Accra is not the best, you are very much hopeful that you will get a chance. And that for me is one of the issues we have here. Now, I wanted to touch on two things. I think we tax Ghanaian citizens a lot with so much. I was thinking through what Kaka was saying, and it's true that we all have to come together and collectively put pressure to bear on our leaders to deliver what is most important to us. Now imagine you drive all the way from Ghana East at dawn, come to the central business district, you close from work, and then you go home, and your roads are bad, your lights are not working, but within your municipality, someone is paid to ensure the lights work, the roads are functioning, the taps are flowing. I'm supposed to, on top of going to work at dawn, coming back at home, go chase these people and ensure that all these things are happening after paying my rate, property rates, rent, and all of that. It's quite a lot. To the point about the president taking an interest and prioritizing things. I remember the president in his first year set up the anti-flood task force. I remember him visiting a lot of the drains we have in the country and even wetlands and giving some directives. This was the president. He left the presidency, drove all the way with security people and all the contractors, briefed him and all that. As we stand here, some directives the president gave, they've not been fulfilled.
Thank you.
Right? So there's a challenge with this centralized authority thing where the president must make something a priority before it's done. But I completely get the political patronage that leads to that. Because everyone is watching over their shoulders. If you've been given an appointment by the president is also elected. So that's where the citizen thing comes in. When the people cry out, they are taking our food out of our mouth, then the politicians begin to think. Right? And honestly, I'm worried for Accra. Because after this year, I don't see President Mahama able to do so much. By next year, they are looking for flag bearer. All things are going to change. And his voice won't carry the same weight it has carried last year and this year. And that's one thing I worry about. And when I look at the quality of his appointees with respect to the MMDCEs, right? You have a lot of experts within the space who are running the show. But when you have the political figureheads or arrowheads who are leading the charge, who are say, okay, I used to be the constituency secretary and my party is now in power, so I've been made NADMO, so and so, AMA, so and so, all that. That's a problem. Last week, I moderated a panel, Kaka was there, the Ghana Institute of Architects. And you listen to the passion and the knowledge, the understanding. These are technical people who have built cities across the African continent. Most of the examples we are citing today have Ghanaian experts leading the charge, consulting and practically building. And they have the same knowledge here. They give you prototypes and models of how we can transform our cities into functional, workable cities. Why have we not been able to tap into their wisdom and their knowledge to superimpose that reality onto our reality? And a lot of that is because of the politicking. And I will blame the lack of moral courage. Bernard, on that panel, we had a former head of works for the AMA who told us that, look, the buffer for the motorway, so from the police station you have at East Legon all the way to a building in a sharp curve, Boundary Road, they call it Redemption, it's a church. That entire stretch was supposed to be a green belt. And we are told that there was a Supreme Court case that said that that place is supposed to be left as a green belt. And he told us that under their tenure, they insisted and they made sure that they protected that place and ensured that it wasn't encroached by powerful, wealthy people who otherwise offered to compromise them with parcels of land here and there. We do not have leaders, unfortunately, who have the moral courage to stick to their guns when they have to do something. if we want to build another capital city, which is a big conversation, you have the same people who are leading Accra now doing that. The same people within the various municipal assemblies, architects, engineers, supervisors, all of that. We have the professionals here. We've not given them, number one, the free space to use their intellect and their professional understanding to reflect on our buildings, in our spaces, in our built environment. And we have rich people who have the means to compromise these people who are in spaces. Because one of the things that came up is that if you insist on, oh, this area is meant for green belt, we are not going to sell it, someone is going to compromise you, or they are going to speak to an authority higher than you.
So let me summarize what you've said. You said about 4 things. Number one, you understand the pressure on Accra because of opportunity.
Yeah.
Number two, you understand my point about presidential prioritization, although there are limits to that. And you worry about the president's ability to even push further beyond next year because of lame duck issues. Number three, you speak about you speak about appointees who, some of whom may not be there on merit because of the mixed system. So whilst they are experts in the assemblies, sometimes their leaders may not necessarily be there. They may be political people who may not have the expertise. Then number four, you talk about moral courage. So you spoke about 4 things. Kakra speaks about the role of citizens in not just disagreeing but mobilizing to force leadership change. There's a question I have, which is the logical question for everybody. Where should we start from? That's what I'm trying to say. I know that you can't change something like this in a day. All right. But I also know that the way I solve my problems in life is there's always where to start from. Okay. What's the most important part of this problem that we should collectively focus? Is it the mindset of people in Accra? Is it the type of people who lead us? Is it the type of rules around how cities are managed? Is it I don't know. What is the I want to read some comments and come back to you guys on that to close me. What is the 1 or 2? It doesn't have to be 1. I just want you to give me like what are the key areas we should prioritize, because that will also give me a sense of how to even go ahead with the programs. Okay, because for me, a lot of what we do is to pick an aspect of an issue and then push it. So we'll read some comments and then you guys will tell me how you think or where you think we should prioritize if the next 150 years of Accra should be much better than the first 150. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Just give one comment from my phone.
Yes, please.
Clarence sends a message that, good morning, I'm in public transport to work, and there's an interesting argument between a mate or a bus conductor and a passenger. The mate is charging Medina fare for everyone, and the passenger is questioning the reasoning for that. The mate's response is that this is a normal thing. The passenger then said that the government is procuring buses, and this, quote, nonsense will come to an end. The mate's reply is that nothing will change and they will be here. His justification is that everyone is doing what they want in their little space. So this country is never going to develop. No one can and will make it better. Thus, we should all fight for our survival.
Ask him whether the passenger supported him. Because there are levels of what. It's a very powerful comment. The mate saying nothing will change. Somebody standing up for his right. And whether, because you cannot charge us all Medina fare if you are dropping at different places. It's an illegality. But it happens because a lot of people don't really care. They are like, Charlie, with the baby. But if they say, no, mate, you're fine. Are people prepared to suffer? This is the other problem I have with Ghanaians. Akoto, anything you want to change in this world, you know, somebody said that they believe their country will win a war against another country because their citizens are more used to suffering. I think one of the reasons why things don't change in Ghana is that citizens don't want to suffer. Because if, for example, 3 or 4 people said to them, mate, Charlie, boss, I didn't into your and driver can say, okay, you be see. Okay, even if we walk, we've made a statement. The driver will think tomorrow, but we'll say, oh, and it's just 10 cities, mommy to ya. Charlie, I want my peace of mind. You see, that type of mindset for me is what can make a mate tell you that what I say, like nothing will change. Like the mate is so cynical that he knows he's doing the wrong thing, and yet he's saying that I'm daring you to. Yeah, so Godfrey, read the comments. I'll come back to that guy.
Good morning. I agree with you guys. God bless you. This is from Eric Bernard. Good morning. I like the topic you're tweeting. I was in Accra over the weekend, and Bernard, from Kingsway to NIB traffic lights all the way to the CMB side, it was an eyesore. People selling on the road, but not on the road. When you talk about it, they will insult you. Pedestrians and cars share the same lane. Bernard, this is not acceptable. Our politicians are failing us. This thing is happening at La Paz, Accra, Desmond from Amasaman. Bernard, you see, the La Paz, whoever runs, Okaikwe North or something.
La Paz is... La Paz is Ablekuma. No, are you called constituency or assembly? Constituency is Okaikwe North.
Yes.
And also Ablekuma North.
The MP, Ablekuma North, she is, and then the assemblies, the two of them.
La Paz, dear Charlie.
They should have a meeting and just, discuss how they can salvage.
Charlie, you are choosing your words carefully. Better, La Paz. It's a different world. It's a different country.
Aloski, there's a fish market. By the roadside, like on the pedestrian walkway. A fish market. But do you know how you have to gut a fish? And dispose of fish,
and it's on the road.
By the road, in the full glare of authorities.
And everything.
So La Paz is a microcosm of the macrocosm.
Hey, tell La Paz, dear. Hey, La Paz. God bless the residents of La Paz. I agree 100% with Godfred. Accra seems to be living in its own fantasy. Accra is getting way behind its peers in the sub-region. A lot has been said about how Cotonou is getting many things right and how the city is matching contemporary capitals. If we keep sleeping, even Ouagadougou, at the rate of change currently happening, will be more livable than Accra in the next decade. If Accra can even get sanitation right, we will definitely be scratching the surface of seriousness. I love this message from Abdul Razak Isley. Go on.
All right.
In 2015, after the June 3rd disaster, the then environment minister and current majority leader, with the president, promised to ban plastics. It's been 11 years. The president recently promised to ban takeaway packs. What's become of it? No action, talk only country indeed. Jesse from Sakumono.
Thank you, Jesse, for reminding us.
Amwe from Kaswa says just a few days after the demolition exercise at Kaswa, traders are back on the road. And this time they've taken a whole lane meant for the cars. Taxi drivers have also taken the law into their hands and have turned a part of the road into a station. Authorities will come and clear today, and the next day is back to default.
So Bernard, to your question, what do we need to do?
There's a few more comments that I wanted them to read. Kakra, has the person responded about?
He said a couple of the passengers disagreed with the mates, but the majority were just quiet.
I just want to say, if they are listening to this show, I feel like one of the things we need to change is the passivity of the Ghanaian. Because whilst we can't blame the passengers for this mate's impunity because there's no system, I think their passivity makes it worse. Sometimes you have to take a principled position and say, look, mate, there are nonsense now, and let other people join. It can result in blows. So. Yeah, you won't die. Or if for nothing at all, get down from the bus. We must be prepared to stand up for what we believe. Sometimes we allow. Why should a mate just charge Medina fare for everybody just because there's a shortage of transport? It's arbitrary. You get it? But it's like you allow that and then they do other things. You get me? So even if the government cannot regulate it properly, citizens should not allow that.
But last week we had interviews. There was an issue with an app the government was trying to deploy, and the stakeholders were trying to say, they were not going to accept it. It is arbitrary. Some of the things they were not consulted. By the time we were done with the conversation, every well-meaning Ghanaian who listened to it very carefully could tell where was and where what was. Now you get the impression that the state is being firm in what it wants to do and says, this is what we are able to gain from this. If there are issues with this, let's fix this. You don't get the same mentality when it comes to our public spaces, right? So this Kaswa thing we just discussed, last week they went to clear the place. Fine, they said they didn't engage the market people. The market people said they didn't provide them with an alternative. The authorities say we provided you with an alternative. And the people say the place was not big enough. If indeed you provided an alternative, you have to make sure you are firm and ensure that people don't return. Because the Ghanaians will always want to do the things they want to do because what? It benefits them. The chaos in Accra, don't be deceived, it benefits a lot of people. The chaos at Circle, the last time someone took my phone from my car.
Wait, I want you to develop that point. You see, you made a point about the last week issue where the government could see the benefit of the system they were implementing.
Right.
And therefore, when people push back, they still insisted.
Yeah.
But don't you think that it's much easier to manage groups like Guta than it is to manage 50 or 100 traders? So maybe the calculation is that we can ring fence these opposition to the system, and because we can see the direct financial benefit. But when it comes to the space of Kaswa, it's so I'm not even sure it's just a question of the government benefiting. Maybe it's a question of this is more complicated than we can talk to Guta. Jampo says he's meeting them today. We have a couple of meetings. We compromise here and there. They will still use the AI system. But when it comes to clearing Kaswa, the number one, the quality of the people overseeing that process is not the same as the quality of people overseeing
at this level
the port process.
I agree.
Number two, the number of people you have to deal with,
there are many
who are hungry and angry.
Yes.
And over the many years of failed promises is not the same. True. Number three, the political cost of managing an AI system at a port versus the political cost of managing 2,000 traders is not the same. So what I'm trying to say to you is that, and that's why we said to the government that appoint your best people in local governance, because your most intractable problems are actually on the ground. They didn't listen.
But everything
you need very firm people
because you see, Akoto, this management of this Guta thing, the cheapest authority CEO is meeting them today. It's very possible to come to a conclusion because they speak the same language. Now, running Kaswa is very tough. If you want somebody to manage that space of Kaswa, to manage the kiosks, the police,
and the chaos,
you don't need. So, but the government didn't listen. They put political people.
That's a problem.
Just meanwhile,
you're talking about the costs.
The most important job in Ghana today is local governance.
Yes.
Yet the people who are running it.
Everybody should find their assemblyman, not just their DC, but their assemblyman. And respectfully, let's heckle them. Let's chase them everywhere.
Let's hustle them small.
So that they communicate our challenges to the assembly. We follow up with the assembly and we make sure that work gets done.
Priorities.
Because
I want to stick priorities.
Legally, we can take our assemblies on for their failure.
So 1 or 2 lawsuits.
Yes.
So I'm coming. I want to conclude.
The
So your priority is what?
We should a member of that they have a WhatsApp because of bad roads. They should put their act together
and get some suits.
Because people are paying taxes and levies, but your roads are bad.
So the pressure should come from the bottom, not the top.
Because the top has reached the point where they are so insulated that they are numb, they are indifferent.
So citizens like the groups who are bearing the brunt of these kind of things should go beyond the radio complaints, go to court, do some more. So let the people feel the heat small.
Yes, we appreciate that the vicissitudes of life, we're all going to work, but we need to find the time to do that, because at the end of the day, we don't even have the basic amenities to live the life that we think or we deserve to live as citizens. Okay, and thankfully, the local governance structure has created it, has mapped it out for us. Find your assemblyman. Start relaying your problems. You can come together as neighbors on streets. We used to do that in the 90s.
And just to wrap up for me, Bernard, I'm trying to do something and find some engagement. What I have seen is a lot of the local assembly heads and the MPs, they don't live in the places they run. Have you realized that? How are you? Kwekwadu now lives in my area, and Kwekwadu don't move. I'm telling you. Don't move. I know your house. If you move, I'll come and choke you already. You live where I went to nursery school. You should stay there. Stay there. It's good because we can find you. My previous MP lived at Trasako. Whilst she's MP at Ablikuma West.
You don't like that?
You might have a local assembly
MC, does MC live there?
MC, no. That's why I'm coming. Some of the MCs and DCEs, they
live on the fringes.
They don't actually live in the places that they manage. And there's something that we also need to look at. I can't talk about, but in Accra, we know the MPs and where they live. That are enclave.
They are one enclave.
Yeah. How are you MP of Okaikwe and you live at Lekma? What are you doing there?
No, that place the light doesn't go off. The roads are better. No, the asphalt is so thick that even the speed ramp you don't feel it. You just go shoot.
You see the
asphalt is so thick.
Find out where your MP lives. I'll ask you, find out where your MP lives and come back to me.
We'll take a break. We have 2 big interviews before we wrap up with more of your comments. This is the City Breakfast Show. Don't go away.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Come and see the beauty of Ghana.
Oh yes, are you looking to explore Ghana? Not sure where to begin? Why not let Ghana Tourism Marketplace help you plan the perfect trip? With Ghana Tourism Marketplace, you can easily book hotels, discover exciting tours, rent cars, connect with expert local tour guides, and explore destinations across the country, all in one place. You can also get tickets for amazing experiences like movie in the park at Platinum Bay Hotel, Uncle Ebo White Theatre shows, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park visits, Accra by night tours, and many more unforgettable events. For more information, visit www.gtm.com.gh or email info@gtdc.gov.gh. You can also call or WhatsApp 050-123-3921 or 0202-700-720. Ghana Tourism Marketplace is brought to you by Ghana Tourism Development Company, your official gateway to discovering Ghana.
This damn patch again. Ebo, look at this wall. Every few months, the same damn patch comes back. I've painted it twice already. What is all this?
Kofi, you can't fight moisture with paint too. The problem is inside the building itself.
Yes. So what can I do? The house is already finished.
Simple. Gasem Super Strong Waterproof Cement. It's a new cement with built-in water protection technology.
Water protection?
Yes.
So it's just for repairs?
No, my friend. That's the difference. Use it to fix dampness and seepage. Or use it for new buildings. Foundation, block work, plastering. One cement that builds and protects.
Wow. Gasm Super Strong Waterproof Cement. The one cement that builds and protects. Build it right once. Gasm, the nation builder.
Hello CEOs, Ghana's foremost business platform marks 10 years of leadership impact. Join the 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo on Monday, 18th May 2026 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Kempinski Hotel Accra. The summit is themed accelerating Ghana's economic transformation, driving bold reforms through leadership, technology, and industrialization. Tagline: from vision to action. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, will attend as special guest of honor and officially launch the CEO Government Compact 2026. Highlights include presidential CEO dialogue, masterclasses, panels, brand expo, CEO profiles, networking, and the Ghana CEO Excellence Gala. Registered now at GhanaCEOSummit.com. Call 054-639-1970 or email info@GhanaCEOSummit.com. Powered by CEO Network Ghana in partnership with Deloitte, PwC, EY, GIPC, SIGA, University of Ghana, Media General, and the Multimedia Group. The 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo. A decade of leadership impact. T&C supply.
My friends, I'm a very happy man. Let me share my testimony. I needed a home at a prime location, but I didn't have enough money. The little I had was too small to buy even a studio apartment, but a friend of mine introduced me to invest to own from Priority View Homes. I invested the little money I had for only 2 years. True to their word, at the maturity date, I qualified for a 2-bedroom luxury apartment at a prime location in Accra. Now look at me, living in my own home without the usual hassle. If you want a stress-free home to live in, I would advise you to sign up to their invest-to-own policy in partnership with Omni Basic Bank and say cheers to a new home. You may call Priority View Homes Limited on 055-588-2294 or 024-4068-477 and you will never regret you did. Priority View Homes. There's no place like home.
Tired of dealing with messy hair? We've got your solution. Introducing new BO16 Styling Gel. It effortlessly hold and style your hair, leaving no white flakes behind. Choose from our original clear or sleek black gel to suit your style. BO16 Styling Gel. Because your hair deserves the best. Express yourself confidently. Available now at your nearest store. Grab yours and style with ease. The GC brand, it's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Kuma has always dreamt of commanding his own military forces.
Attention! Eyes right, stand at ease.
Because that dream is still a vision in progress, he spends his time commanding his money with the EcoBank mobile app.
Operation Supplier Payment. Dispatch 1,000 units of currency from Accra to Benin. Move! Move!
Sometimes he wants a little extra control so that he can buy only what he needs.
Command Center mobile app. Activate virtual card protocol and initiate payments for sneakers and t-shirts. Abort mission for leather coat payment.
Even when the general is fast asleep, his standing order marches out to sort his bills. With the EcoBank mobile app, you can command your money to make safe transactions in Ghana and across 33 African countries. Download the EcoBank mobile app on the Play or App Store today.
By the left, about turn.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
(9:23) on the City Breakfast Show. Two big announcements. UPSA Law School is honoring Chachu Chikata, astute lawyer, luminary of the law and public sector management expert, and it's a big event on Wednesday, 15th April at 3 p.m. at the Kofi Ohene Kunedu Auditorium. An evening of celebration extolling the awardees' excellence and impactful contribution to the development of law, the legal academy, and public service in Ghana. For more inquiries, call 0245 347946. And if you're looking for motor insurance that goes the extra mile, Hollard Insurance has something special for you this 2026. Insure your car with Hollard and win extra rewards. For example, new customers get to drive away with free fuel vouchers when they sign up. Existing customers get exclusive gifts when they renew. There's also 24/7 free roadside assistance for everyone, so you're never stuck on the road. Call 0800 444 999. Hollard Insurance, we've got you covered. And there's a big book launch on Saturday. Yes, indeed. So there's a biography on the life of Alhaji Imoru Igala, the president of Ghana that never was. It's a remarkable story of a brilliant teacher, a pioneering nationalist, and one of the youngest ministers in the Nkrumah government. This launch is on a Saturday, the 18th of April. And if you want to take part in this book launch, you may call this number or WhatsApp this number 0244 162 033. 0244 162 033. It's a story celebrating the life and times of Alhaji Imoru Igala, the president Ghana never had. And it's an amazing book that all those of you interested in history should be part of. It's happening at the a venue in Accra. I'll communicate that shortly. In studio, I have friends from First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana, forgive me. First Bank Ghana. And Gloria Ando is the area head for Accra East. Immanuel Prempe is the area head for Accra Central. What are they doing? It's called the First Bank Ghana SME Connect. So what is that, and why should customers be excited? Gloria and Emmanuel, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We are fine. And you?
Well,
as you can see, the morning has started well.
Thank God.
First Bank Ghana. Tell me about the bank. How well are you guys doing? Are you making money? Are you happy?
Very happy. We are making a lot of money.
Thank God.
Supporting businesses,
okay,
especially our SMEs.
Wonderful. So what is this First Bank Ghana SME Connect? Who is it targeted at?
Okay, Bernard. So good morning again, and good morning to your cherished listeners.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go into what we are doing for our SMEs, when you talk about Accra East, permit me to let you know the coverage for Accra East. When we talk about Accra East, we are talking about the Tema region, branches that cut across Tema region, Ashaiman, Spinters, East Legon, Dome, and then Atomic. Then at the First Bank SME Connect, simply put, we are bringing First Bank to the doorstep of SME businesses.
Wonderful.
And I mean all SME businesses. You don't necessarily have to be our existing customer to take advantage of this great opportunity. It is open for both existing and then prospective customers. It's actually a flagship program designed to bring the bank, like I mentioned, to the doorstep of our SMEs. We are going beyond traditional banking where you have our SMEs coming to us to discuss their needs. Instead, we are going to the SMEs directly, discuss what their needs are, and then provide solutions to these SMEs.
Okay.
Beyond the products, the financial products and services, what we are also doing is that we are using this opportunity or initiative to create an ecosystem, a supportive ecosystem to bring the SMEs together, to connect, to learn across the various channels or the various activities that they offer, and then also to provide advisory services for these SMEs.
You've answered almost all the questions I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you why you are doing this. You've already said this.
Okay, so Bernard, let me add a little to the why. You know, over 30 years, First Bank has consistently supported SMEs, recognizing them as the backbone of the Ghanaian economy. So with this initiative, we are reaffirming our commitment to continue to provide funding, in fact, the right funding for them, collection platforms, and then investment opportunities for these SMEs. Ultimately, our goal is not just to empower the SMEs to survive, but to thrive, to sustain their business, and be profitable.
Why should an SME listening to you this morning participate in this event?
Thank you again, Bernard. So we have many reasons, opportunities, and then tailor-made products available for these SMEs to take advantage of. Bernard, you would agree with me that one of the pain points of our SMEs is lack of access to funding.
Okay.
We have our flagship products, First Trader Solution, that seeks to address this challenge for the SMEs. And like I mentioned earlier, what makes this interesting is that you don't necessarily have to be a customer of First Bank to take advantage of this FTS products. With FTS products, you have the opportunity to access funding without necessarily providing landed property collateral. And this is very interesting. You also agree with me that most of our SMEs are women, and we have our First Gem products designed for SME entrepreneurs to also take advantage of. Our importers, our SME importers, are not left out of this equation. So we have importers that have challenges in importing goods, having funds to import their goods. Where you are sufficient or where you have a credit line with your importer, so you don't need immediate funding. It will interest you to know the number of demurrage cases in Tema, where they bring the goods they are unable to clear. Our import duty financing got these customers covered. We provide funding for them to be able to clear their goods at the ports. We also have convenience platforms like our collection and payment channels, our USSD, POS, online platforms. We know the SMEs are very busy, so we also provide these channels and platforms to offer them convenience. So I believe that these are opportunities that the SMEs can take advantage of. So we encourage all of them to be part of this SME Connect.
Let me bring Ima in. So give me some details. Where is this happening? When is it happening? Give me more.
Thank you very much, Bernard. So it's happening live starting tomorrow. That is 14th through to 16th of April. And let me add that on the 14th and the 16th, it will be happening at the forecourt of the Ghana National Fire Service, Makola. And then also on the 16th, there's going to be SME workshop.
Sorry, when you say 14th, give me the day. Today.
Okay, so tomorrow.
14 there, we don't leave me. I don't calculate like that.
Sorry.
Tomorrow, Tuesday.
Yeah, tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll be at the forecourt of the Ghana National Fire Service.
Correct.
At Makola. And then also on the 16th, there's going to be SME workshop at the Makola Shopping Mall, the rooftop.
So Tuesday and Wednesday fire service.
Yes, please.
Thursday
the workshop
will
be at the Makola shopping mall.
Good.
Yeah.
And what are some of the activities lined up for these 3 days?
All right. So on the 14th and the 15th, we're going to have free health screening.
Correct.
And then also that will start at 8 o'clock in the morning through to 5 p.m. That is for the 14th. That is tomorrow and Wednesday.
Correct.
But on the Thursday, we will all be meeting at the Makola shopping mall in the morning. And let me say this. This workshop is strictly by invitation. And so if you will permit me, I would like to put a number or call a number that those listening to us, if they are interested, they can call this number to engage us, if I'm permitted, Bernard.
Oh, you are more than permitted.
All right. So the number is 059 692 1921.
Can you repeat?
Right. Okay. 059 692 1921. Yeah.
And this is for SMEs to call for more information.
Yes, please.
Do they have to register to attend, or they can just show up?
No. Once you're a business owner and you are within the Makola, the Okainshi, the Kantamanto, Opera Square, the Swan Mill, just come on board, come around. There's no need for registration. Like I said, like my colleague said, it's for customers as well as potential customers or listeners listening to us this morning.
Right.
They can come in and be part of this program.
First Bank Ghana is organizing SME Connect from tomorrow to Thursday to help SMEs get access to many things: information, free health screening, and business advisory support. I'm speaking to Gloria Ando and Manorusu Prempe, who are area heads for the two key areas. So Gloria, Accra East is where you head, and then Ernest Emmanuel is from Accra Central. Any closing thoughts and any final thing from you, Gloria, before you go?
Okay, Bernard, so I would want to reiterate that it is for existing and potential customers. It's targeted at wholesalers, retailers, business owners, importers, and also the 14th and then the 15th, where we are having the program, where we are having the screening. There will also be team members there who will be engaging customers. Our staff will also be in the market to engage the customers. So as much as we encourage a lot of the SMEs to come to the forecourts, we're also asking that we are doing this for them. When our staff come into the market to speak with them, they should permit them to engage them.
What will your staff be wearing?
They'll be branded in our...
So you see dark blue with the First Bank Ghana in white with a dark elephant on top of a yellow background.
Yes, we would also have others with the inscription SME Connect.
So when you see people in that SME Connect, they'll be doing SME, First Bank.
They should allow them. We've designed this for them.
It's for them for the next 3 days.
For them.
Where is the fire service place you are talking about for the first 2 days?
Okay, so it's facing the Okainshi market.
Correct.
Just after the Makola shopping mall.
So you are inside Central Business District.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
And then the Thursday one is at
the Makola shopping mall. That one, okay. Very close to the Ghana Law School.
Hey, Charlie, you have chosen a very busy place, pal.
Bernard, when you get to know where our branches are located,
you are inside the market.
You understand why we are having this.
We are market people.
Our first branch started from Makola.
Yeah. Serious?
Yes.
So you are for the SMEs. SMEs are for you.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, and this time we've been for them all this.
Will you be giving free T-shirts? We like those things. So. The market will say Munche and T-shirt nimbi, Munche and your manti, Mumpe a cheni cap and in your man.
There are lots of souvenirs for them.
I'm speaking for the market. I know them.
There are lots of souvenirs.
Will you be opening accounts for people there?
Yes, sure. We open accounts. We are providing advisory services and also opening accounts for them.
Wonderful.
So some of the account that we'll be selling, that is what I spoke.
So it's a market storm.
Yes, it's a storm.
We are storming the market.
Yes, exactly. We are coming to them.
First Bank storms Mokola.
Yes.
With SME Connect.
Makola, Okainshi, Kantamanto, Opera Square.
Thank you guys for being on the program. So watch out for people in SME Connect T-shirts, First Bank Ghana T-shirts. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all through Makola, Okainshi. You see them around. Free screening for health, free workshop, education, signing of accounts. They even have refreshments.
Connecting together. You know, they will have the opportunity to connect with other SMEs.
It's very, very important. Gloria and Emmanuel, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Bernard,
for having us.
All right. Take a short break. When we come back, there's more, including a conversation with friends from KNUST who are collaborating with the Ghana Health Service to organize the Africa Wastewater and Environmental Surveillance Conference. Watch out for that interview and others. Stay with us.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Easter is here and Electroland says come and shop. This Easter, make it special. Electroland is bringing you unbeatable offers, unbelievable discounts and exciting free gifts. Feel the rhythm with Samsung, TCL and Media Home Theaters. Enjoy your favorite Easter movies on LED smart TVs. You can stay cool all day with our powerful air conditioners. Want a bedside fridge for your chilled drinks? We've got you. Prepare your Easter meals on a 4 to 6 burner gas cooker with grill and oven. And make laundry easy with top or front load washing machines. Visit our showrooms or go to www.electrolandga8.com. Call 050-315-9739. Electroland, home of luxury affordable electronics.
So what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It's a very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement. Unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
In Ghana, planning ahead is something we grew up with. It's in the small things. Filling your barrels and buckets just in case the taps don't flow tomorrow. Parents buying school shoes 2 or 3 sizes too big so you can grow into them. Or wrapping your books carefully so that they can be passed down to the next child. It's how we've always looked out for the future. Quietly, thoughtfully, every day.
For 20 years, we've understood what Ghanaians have always known. Planning today secures tomorrow. It's the reason we provided life insurance solutions for every aspect of your future. Star Life didn't introduce planning ahead, we only made it better. Why? Because it's who you've always been. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
We are Star Life, your solid partner for life.
Are you planning to relocate from your company, office, or house, whether across cities to another town or halfway around the country? You want a moving company you can depend on to get you there? Let me introduce you to Logistics Movers. We are here to help you every step of the way, from planning the move to unpacking the last box and settling into your office or home. We have the expertise, experience, and market understanding and offer fast, reliable, and professional transportation services in Ghana. Our main thrust is to successfully move your business, household items safely, on time, and hassle-free. You can call us on 0246-833-539 or 0244-342-465. You can also send us an email to info@logisticsmovers.com or check our website www.logisticsmovers.com. Why expose your company or household items to theft or damages when you are relocating if it's avoidable? Logistics Movers, we help you relocate.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. for a sweet and juicy treat? Grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangy fruit drink, bursting with tangy flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Attention all Ghanaian students in basic to senior high schools. Want to win 15,000 Ghana cedis? Join the Kofi A. Teria Good Citizenship Challenge now. Form a team of at least 5 students and embark on a community service initiative that will make a real difference. For more details, call 050-591-0960. The final submission deadline is 30th June 2026.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Time is 8:42 on the Citi Breakfast Show. We have a couple of friends from the KNUST to be talking to them about a big conference taking place this week. It's the African Wastewater and Environmental Surveillance Conference. Before we speak to them, Kleber has 2 quick announcements.
So do you know the hottest slogan in town? It is part to part from GCB Bank. We are talking about Mega Gantuan prizes, the ultimate all-expense paid trip to the Global Football Fiesta next year, plus monthly TVs, fridges, cookers, and many goodies. The prizes, no, they finish. So join the winning team, deposit and maintain 300 cedis or more in your GCB savings or current account. That's all. Small savings, the more points you earn, part to part, and boom, say kutu, say bam. So get in the game, and your next stop can be Yankee, Canada, or Mexico from December 2025 to April this year. Save, win, go with the part to part promo by GCB Bank Global Football. Here we come. If you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, please discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. We have Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, and Piva Tangy. So grab yours now. Available at a local store near you. Call us 0550-032-231. Piva beverages, a taste you will love.
So this is an announcement coming in and basically from the Obin Mensah families. Right. And this is also from the Obing Edu family, to saying a big thank you to all those who took part in the funeral and burial of Deaconess Mrs. Shirley Obing Mensah. And the message is to express profound gratitude and appreciation to all for their contribution and for mourning with them over the weekend during the burial of Shirley and the naming of their twins. And the message says, your messages of condolence, support in prayers, time with us, and donations brought great comfort to the family. May the Lord, who Shirley served, bless you mightily in all your endeavors. Coming in from Robert Mensah, who is the widower, and from the family of Shirley and of Robert and members of the PRWC. Dan Soman. All right, so I have Dr. Michael Owusu. He's a lecturer and research scientist at KNUST, specifically with the KCCR. He's also the co-chairman of the scientific committee for this very important conference. Welcome, Doc.
Thank you very much.
I also have Dr. Princess Echampong, who is a lecturer and member of the conference planning committee, KNUST School of Public Health. Dr. Echampong, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you're calling it the African Wastewater and Environmental Surveillance Conference. That's a very wild name, Dr. Echampong. What is this about?
Okay, so good morning to all our lovely listeners.
Yeah.
And we would like to say that this is a very important conference. It's out of the ordinary, not the usual conferences. We are bringing together stakeholders within the space of health. We have epidemiologists, clinicians, we have policy makers all across the globe coming together this week to come and discuss this very important issue, wastewater. The water will do the talking for us. You know, COVID-19 taught us so many lessons. I call it the necessary evil because although it hurt us, but it's really shown us that we need to prepare for pandemics. And so this is a conference that will bring together all these important stakeholders for us to look at data, look at what we've been doing in the area of wastewater surveillance, and look at what the data is talking about for now and what lessons we can begin to derive from it, and look at issues of sustainability when it comes to surveillance and then protecting the larger public for future pandemics.
So, Dr. Usu, what are some of the issues the conference will discuss?
Yeah, so like Princess mentioned, you can imagine during COVID that you see people wearing white, and they say they are doing contact tracing, trying to follow people up who talked to who and who did what, with so much stigma, so much difficulty for people to interact. But over the years, the scientific community has come to find out that you don't necessarily have to go to people, but then you can make use of the waste from people to do the same job. And therefore, it's good to get methods, innovative technologies to understand how this can be done. So in the near future, before an outbreak comes up, it's been found that maybe about 2 or 3 weeks before a pandemic comes, you'll see maybe traces of this in people's waste. And therefore, if you're able to use your tools very well, you can predict pandemics and predict outbreaks even before they happen. And this is where the world is going to, so that we minimize human engagement, but then try to make use of what comes off from people to inform public health action. So because there's a new thing coming up, I mean, there's a need for scientific community across the world to understand insight to this, to know what methods can be used, to know how this waste has to be collected, to inform the public to understand what this could be used for. I mean, in Ghana, we've been doing partly this along the polio line since 2016. If you remember, almost every month, these waste are collected from about 14 places in Ghana. And then occasionally you find that there's a polio outbreak at certain places. It's not from the people, but it's from this waste collected from those sites. So whenever you find traces of this, the Ghana Health Service comes in to do mass vaccination and to protect the population. But this is now being extended to many things like SARS-CoV-2 for COVID. Some are looking at typhoid, others are looking at things like yellow fever, measles, and many things that we think that could be relevant for us to do this. And this is not just for KNUST, but this is a pilot study being led by the Ghana Health Service. They should have been here, but they are engaged in many activities.
So you are collaborating with Ghana Health Service?
Exactly, wow. to see how we can utilize this to inform public health.
So it's KCC are the people who were interviewing during COVID, always discussing those things?
Exactly. So
Dr. Amuesi and co.
Exactly, and I'm one of the virologists as well.
You're one of the people who were doing those interviews.
Exactly.
KCC became very big. You and Uguchi. I see. So what is the theme for this conference and what do you hope to achieve, Dr. Achampong?
Okay, so the theme is harnessing wastewater surveillance, One Health and disease control tool.
Wonderful.
So that is what we are discussing.
I see. And what do you want to achieve with this type of topic?
Well, so what we want to achieve, the conference brings together experts across the entire world, from Cambodia to Thailand to the US, everywhere. I mean, many people. We have over 150 people represented in Ghana here at Alisa Hotel. So people have knowledge, insight into how these are done. And it's good that because it's an evolving method, we bring these experts together. They speak to the topics, we engage, and we hope that at the end of the conference, we'll be able to come out with, for instance, what methods can be used best for collecting these samples. What tools can be used best for detection? How can we have a sustainable way of costing these wastewater, which we think is much cheaper than humans? I mean, Ben, if you have to chase human beings and take their swab, you remember in COVID time,
it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy. But then these people feel that is less expensive and have, the ethics issue can be well managed. So we hope that at the conference we'll be able to reach some level of agreement with all these experts coming together to help us to harmonize some of these protocols and make informed decisions that will help to the benefit of the country. Not just Ghana, but then, from Nigeria, we have people from Ethiopia, from Namibia. People are coming from various places to see how.
So it's a scientific conference.
Exactly.
So you're discussing how sewage can help detect disease.
Exactly.
With different perspectives.
Exactly.
I see. So for those also are not scientists, can you explain briefly to us how this can happen? How sewage can help detect disease?
Well, what to the ordinary person, what we say that whatever comes out of your body can be used as a tool to help identify whatever disease or condition you have. This is to the simplest understanding for ordinary people. I mean, not to identify you as a person, but then what comes out of you is what informs decision that will help, the entire population and protect us from disease and pandemics.
Wonderful. So where is this taking place? When is it taking place? Who is invited, Dr. Champo?
Okay, so it's taking place at Alisa Hotel from tomorrow, the 14th, and 15th for the conference. And the third day, on the 16th, there would be a workshop for specific invited guests. For that workshop, they will be discussing bioinformatics.
I see.
On the third day.
Yeah, we also have a session for costing. So the costing, we have experts coming from various places, including WHO and other places, to try to weigh the cost, what goes into doing this. The plan is not just to have this as a short-term activity, but to look at sustainability and whether Ghana will be able to carry this forward for many other pathogens that comes in, and to inform public of action.
Is it too late to register? Today is 13th, and the conference is tomorrow till Thursday. Yeah. So, is it registration closed?
Yeah, it's closed, but there is a provision for on-site registration. So,
right.
If you have to come there and you are very much interested,
you can come. So, this Alisa Hotel tomorrow, through to Thursday.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Any final thoughts? Any final message before you go?
Okay, so I would like to extend great thanks to Funders Gates Foundation, Scripps, and to all other partners, Ghana Health Service, Noguchi, and to KNUST again. We would say we are proud of the planning committee, our chair, Professor Elisu Dabo, Professor Yao, Edusako, the planning committee chair. We want to appreciate the leadership and all who have been supporting on the background to make this conference come alive. We want to say thank you to everyone.
Yeah, and to the public, we think that this is for the public good.
All right.
And whatever we are doing is to protect us, against disease, against outbreak, against infection. So if you hear people are doing some study on waste and stuff, just to know that it is for our own good.
Wonderful.
It's something that will help the entire population.
Dr. Michael Osu is a lecturer and research scientist at KNUST's KCCR, where KCCR is the Kumasi Center for what?
Collaborative research
Wonderful.
in tropical medicine.
And Dr. Princess Champon is a lecturer and a member of the conference planning committee. She's also at the School of Public Health at KNUST. Tomorrow to Thursday at Alisa Hotel.
Mama baby, mama me, manojilo, manoji boko boko nana mai. Manojilo, manoji boko boko nana mai. Oh, manoji oh, manoji boko boko nana mai. Manoji oh, manoji boko boko nana mai. Para utomali namo, para utomali namo. Amakagbo yigamala, koklo bayero hoga kablele godo.
All right, Caleb. So there's something happening. I just wanted to touch on. Friends and relatives of Imo Regala reached out to me to talk about the launch of their book.
Okay.
And there's a new book on the legendary Imoro Igala, and that book is being launched on Saturday. It's a biography with a foreword by Professor Ivan Adaimensa. I was looking for the notice they sent me. I don't know where it is.
This is the great Alhaji Imoro Igala.
Yes, please.
Wow.
And where is this thing right now? He's one of the key political figures of the North.
Yeah.
And where am I? He's
at a point he was a Minister for Foreign Affairs, Trade and Industry and Education.
Yes.
Served as Member of Parliament for Tumu. He was born in Tamale. Served as a clerk to Parliament.
Yeah.
Of the chief of the Sisala people.
Yes. And the book is being launched on Saturday.
Okay, this very
Saturday. And I just wanted to announce that anybody who wants to attend the event can call this number to register. It's an invitation only book launch, 0244 162033. And he's described as a forgotten giant of Ghana's history.
Yeah.
And the book is written by Alhaji Idris Igala.
Okay.
It's a biography that restores a remarkable statesman to his rightful place in Ghana's political history.
Right.
And they're inviting all and sundry to be at the event.
I read in Prof's book that he was one of the mentors.
Which
to,
Prof is this?
Oh Lord.
Professor
Ivan Adaimensa.
Okay.
Yeah, he was cast in the mode of Hilary Man's.
Yes,
one of his
yes.
mentors
He actually
at the
brought
time.
Hilary Man
Yeah.
into prominence when he was nominated to come and lead that party that eventually won the election. So we always have to be mindful of history as well, and sometimes these things help build the nation. It's not just the current politics, also the historical contribution of some historical figures. And the event is at the Marriott Hotel on Saturday the 18th of April.
Nice one. But I just want to congratulate some young professionals who have come together to form an interdenominational choir, dynamic choir. Yesterday they held a concert at the National Theatre they call He Lives, the courtroom experience. It was a fantastic production. Great job they did over there. The National Theatre was packed to capacity. They did a very great job. But Bernard, we need to draw the attention of the authorities. The National Theatre, It's honestly.
And the conference center too needs renovation. So
it's
right now,
nice.
you notice that a lot of events that used to happen at the conference center.
They're going to either the Grand Arena or some Palm somewhere, some other places.
All right. Here are some final comments on the topic we've been discussing.
Koku Selassie, if the citizens become discerning, the politicians will change. The kind of politicians we have is a clear picture of the people we are. These politicians were not brought out of outer space. Hello, Bernard. Is it possible to reach out to some experts from the Department of Planning, Settlement and Development Planning, that's KNUST, for their perspective? As one who passed through the department, I can tell you there are useful research and solutions suggested by the experts like Professor Adakwa, etc., to address our city issues. Thank you. Kwabna sent that from Spain Text.
All right.
More messages. Good morning, Bernard and team. The truth is, we will not make any progress in this situation until the average Ghanaian decides to do the right thing and accept responsibility to actively participate in this journey. There is a problem with the system and leadership, yes, but there is a major problem with we, the citizens. Imagine someone dumping refuse in a gutter, and when another person talks about it, they insult them and ask if they sleep there. We, the citizens, are doing all sorts of wrong things and attribute it to survival. The change we need is a collective one. Leadership sense that, okay, you say citizens. But you know, the Ashanti Regional Minister has rolled out an initiative where, as it's raining, if you catch anyone disposing their refuse into a gutter, take a video, and when they find the person, you get half the fine as a whistleblower. So it's so bad that we need to, devise all these moves to dissuade others from doing the wrong thing. Final message, perhaps. Together with 37 others, we traveled by road to La Côte d'Ivoire, where we spend the Easter holidays. From Abidjan to Yamoussoukro, everything is in order and everything is working. There are no street hawkers, no wrongly placed billboards. The roads are in the best of shapes and the level of orderliness is top notch. If Côte d'Ivoire is doing it, we can do it in Ghana too.
All right.
Nayeli Travels. Okay.
So we also want to support leaders who are doing the right thing. I feel like the Kumasi guy started well.
Yeah.
The AMA guy too is doing what he can.
Yeah.
They should be more deliberate in what they do so we can support when we have to.
Sure.
Because I think this is very important. As we supported Henry Quarter when he did what he did, if this minister for the Greater Accra region wants to do the right thing, or the Ashanti region minister, whichever minister, we definitely have to support as well. It's 10 o'clock. Thank you for listening. The Aluta continues. If God gives us life, we'll be here again tomorrow. City News at 10 is next with Shiba Babini. Good morning, Shiba.
Good morning, Bernard. Coming up in the bulletin, Ghana Shippers Authority urges port drivers to call off planned strike and